So, we should be live. I think we are. We're going to find out in a bit. Da-da-da. Sorry, guys. I had to restart my computer, and then Ecamm decided that they wanted to do a update. So, I'm scrambling to get set up here. Get in there, get in there, get in there. View my channel. Twin Brides. Where's the live? What's going on? Oh, so annoying. So annoying. I don't know where the live is. Go to channel. Oh, you know what it is? I think I know why. It's unlisted public. That's what it is. Okay. That's what it is. Go to channel. There we go. Click onto it. Okay, so system audio is muted. Perfect, that's all we need. All right. So what are we going to be doing today? We are. Oh, hang on a second. I got one more thing to do here. Need to get my just my display dock sorted out. Sorry. Arrange, and there we go. Perfect. Good. Okay. So welcome, guys. Hey, what API are you using for real estate data feed? Oh wow, question already. So this is a good question already. Now, interesting. We're going to be using a private set of access. So I'll tell you the backstory of how I'm actually working on this. Thanks for the question, by the way. Hang on, did I put that in? Is it not showing up on the chat? I'm noticing that. Hang on, I'm assuming that that question will show up. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay, sorry. There's just a delay with the YouTube. I'm just checking. The answer to your question is it's going to be a combination of sources. So off the top, the real estate project that I'm actually working on is going to be an invite-only private real estate project, and the mission is we're going to be scraping data from a bunch of combination of public sources and some what would I call them? Some wholesalers, as they call them in the industry, that's going to be sending some data to us. It's going to come through WhatsApp. It's going to come from email, and it's going to come from a few other sources. We're going to take those. We're going to sort of aggregate that data. We're going to put it into a portal, which is where you're seeing here. That portal will be sort of a way for you to kind of be able to filter and sort and find sort of their best real estate projects. And then from there, we're going to take that and we're going to have sort of an invite-only investors so that they could be able to kind of like see which projects they're interested in, and then we're going to go from there. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully that answers your question. There are a couple of sources that are already scraped from. Let me see if I could find it. I always forget the name of it, so hang on a second. I'm going to try to pull it up for you here. One second. I will tell you. So I've built a scraping algorithm that will pull from. Let me see. Come on. Where is it? Where is the website? What is it called? NYC Homes. Hang on, I'll get it for you in a second here. I might have to go into code to actually get it. Why is it? Jeez. One more second. Sorry. Property NYC. Okay, hang on a second. I'll pull it up from the code because I don't know why I can't find it in the actual thing. So investors portal, and I have a source. So I've got two projects. One of them is this and the other one is, pull it up for you. Bear with me for a second. Sorry. I thought I had this, but I obviously don't. Investor, and we're going to pull up. So there's a second project which we're using Cloudflare to scrape, and I'm trying to get the URL for you so at least you could understand what is it. The deal finder deal. There we go. Okay, here we go. So if I go in 101 AI Snap Suite. Okay, hang on a second. Monorepo. Clients and DP Homes, investor profile, solar, calculator, property scraper. There we go. New terminal code. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there is the project is called scripts. Crawler, neighborhood scraper, docs, analyze. Come on. Why can't I find the stupid thing? Okay, hang on. You know what? There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Sorry, that took forever. Okay, so here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be, so I have so to give you some background context, New York has a lot of public information I'm learning about this because this is a new industry for me. So you can actually scrape quite a bit of information from this website. So for example, if I do the Bronx, just as an example, I could do sort of a generic search. Let me do something a little bit more. I'm gonna do something a little bit more. Use current. No, don't use current address. That's not gonna work. Let's just do this. Okay, so here, let's say I zoom into this property, right? It turns out that I can click on any one of these properties as an example, and you can get pretty much any information that you need, including deeds information, stuff like that. This is all public information in a portal. The problem with it is that it's actually really hard for you to be able to kind of gather these details with this with this project. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a scraper, which I already did, by the way, that will basically go in here and pull all that information, scrape it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to basically aggregate it, put it into a format that works for us, so we could do some more in-depth details on it. So that's the idea. That's basically the goal. That's going to be the mission of the project altogether. At the end of the day, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to take this sort of like disconnected, very loosely, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a mess, right? Like you got all these PDFs of all these property plans. You got all of these listings, so a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna try to do it and get it into something that looks like this. That's gonna be the mission. And once we do that, then you'll be able to kind of properly browse, see all the details, see all the financial details, etc. And if you're interested, now you're going to be able to invest, etc. So that's basically what the goal of the project is. And in today's video, what I'm merely focused on is building out sort of like the portal section so that you can do the invite only part. So in other words, you will be able to sign up and actually, so you'll be able to sign up, number one, and when you sign up, there'll be a bunch of qualifying questions that we're going to ask you, and then once you get that question, that answer, then we're going to pull that information, we're going to kind of aggregate it, etc. So hang on, I'm not seeing the chat. Sorry, I'm just kind of losing my mind here. Why am I not seeing the chat? Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. Real estate feed, so expensive. Yes, 100%. Yes, you're absolutely right. So I'm learning about this actually. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to be pulling information from multiple different sources because I found that the real estate market is kind of crazy. This is a new space to me, so I've never done this before. But what I do know is that based on what I've seen in America, I can't say for Canada, I'm in Canada, but I'm doing this for actually an American company. And what I've seen is that the data to find all the pieces is just it's a mess, and you have to pay like serious money to these API vendors in order to be able to get the information. But here's the thing: what I've observed is that information is public, at least from my vantage point and what I've seen so far. I'm surprised at how much information is just public in the U.S. market that you could find. The problem is nobody's been able to aggregate this data and put it out in a way that makes sense. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're gonna actively build something that could scrape a lot of details. And you'll have to excuse me because I'm hungry at the same time, so we're going to be eating while I do this stuff. But yeah, so if you're interested, stick around. We got lots to cover in this video. And I'm going to try to do it in multiple different parts because I got new people that are coming in and joining, and I don't know where you guys are. And just for the record, join my school community. It's at the top there, dwayne.me/school. And, I can kind of understand your specific use case and maybe show you a couple things and show you how to help you out with building whatever it is. But thank you for joining. Thanks for the question. David, okay, I'm going to butcher your last name right if I got it correctly. Meretit? Okay, something. I'm not going to even try. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, so what are we going to be doing in this particular video? Because I got one specific goal. And by the way, this is a real project. This is not a fake project. This is a legit real project that I'm actually working on it, decided to do it as a live session, build in public type of deal. So we got a bunch of investment properties, and I vibe code everything that you're seeing here so far. I've vibe coded. So to kind of get you up to speed on where we are and how I got this far, what I used in order to vibe code the platform was we went to Google Sketch, S-K-E-T-C, Google Stitch, sorry, I keep saying Google Sketch because that Google Sketch is a real product. So S-T-E-C-H, Google. I have to do it that way because that's the only way thing. So Google Stitch, that's what I use. And this was, new in Stitch. Let's see what we got. Try now. So what I did is I basically got Google Stitch to design the application. Let's go back to all the projects and let's see, equipment uploader. Which is the one that I did? Was it Google Stitch? Oh, you know what I did? I'm even going crazy here. Normally I would use Google Stitch. That's what I did for some of the other projects. This one here I didn't. I actually use Gemini 3.0 because it was actually really good at the UI, which was surprising. So Gemi. So I did the good Gemini, and we did. What did we do here? Let's back up a little bit. Description. There's so many. This is the problem with thing. It's actually the studio. GEM. So it's studio. Oh my goodness. Google. Yeah, AI Studio. There we go. Yeah, because there's so many different versions of it. And Investor Portal. There we go. Yeah. So the UI was actually built with Gemini Studio. And just to go back, I said, hey, I'd like to give me a HTML mockup, a pure HTML mockup of the entire system. And it did a pretty good job. I don't know if I could do the preview anymore. Let me see if I can get the code. No, it doesn't do it anymore. So I did a preview, got an HTML version of this entire platform. So let me just rerun the prompt and then I'll show you what I mean, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Since I don't know where you guys are. New chat. Gemini Pro Preview. Click on paste. So I pasted that in, ask it for like I said, a pure HTML version, and got it to generate the HTML version. Once I was able to generate the HTML version of the application, then what we did is we took that, bring that down into Visual Studio, make sure we could actually run the pages, do a deployment to Cloudflare. Once we got it into Cloudflare, then we started iterating on it and start building out the backend for the entire application itself. Right. So here, so this is Gemini here giving us a single page application with all of the HTML properly in place. And this is by far the best way that I found to kind of vibe code applications, because number one is what it does for me is it allows me to kind of just focus on the UI, work through the details from a UI standpoint without having to actually, focus on the backend code, focus on the database, focus on all that kind of stuff, which just adds more complexity. So once I know that the UI is correct, once I have all of the pieces in place from the UI standpoint, then I start working my way backwards, and just to kind of level set and make sure that we understand what I mean by that. I'm going to draw it out for you guys to make sure that we're on the same page here. So whiteboard. There's my pen. I think this, let me see. Is this plugged in? Of course it's not plugged in. Why would it be plugged in? Okay, I need to cut something here. What am I going to cut? Yeah, let's do this guy. Okay. So, yes, okay. Perfect. We're cooking today. Okay, so let's just talk about sort of the different layers, just to make sure, because I want to make sure that everybody here at least understands what we're talking about, and for anybody that's watching the recording. Okay, so what are the steps? The goal, let's start with the goal first. The goal, okay, goal number one is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use Miro. Sorry, jumping all over the place today because I'm using multiple different tools and I've been kind of experimenting with Miro. Miro has been really good for me. So let me see, I haven't paid for it, but create a board. There we go. Okay, back off. Okay, so Let's do real estate API. Okay. So what are we doing? We are, number one, let's start with goals. So goals, GOALS, okay? So first things first, what we're gonna do is we're going to make sure that we get our UX right. So UX design. Okay, we're gonna work through all the details. Okay, that's number one. Second thing that we're gonna do is we're going to then implement Stripe. No, sorry, invite only. We're gonna create an invite. Okay, actually, let's just do this first. So it's gonna be an invite only. Oh my goodness, really? INVI VIT. Why wouldn't this thing go out? What the hell's going on here? Really? Okay, I don't know why that's not happening. Okay, let's do this again. So UX design, invite only. Really? Okay, whatever. INVITE. Okay, so invite. Then it's going to be, then you're going to be able to fill out a form, questions. And then if you fill out the form correctly, then there's going to be a review process. Review. And then, no, you have to pay. Sorry, so it's going to be Stripe payment. Let's just put pay because I don't know why it's going to like that. So that's going to be in the UI side, okay? And that's going to be with Stripe. Okay, so that's one. So that's one side. The next thing that we need to do is we need to set up a database to get access to all these users. So database. Okay, what is the database going to have? It's going to have the invite, so signups, users, call them users. And then it's going to have their status, okay, obviously, and then the category. Let's put category. I don't know why it's going like that. I see it CEGR. Why the hell wouldn't it expand? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's what my database is going to be. And on the back end side, we're going to have the actual real estate, the properties. Okay, and the properties, so there's a whole thing that's going to be scraping data. Okay, there's a whole thing that's going to be scraping data from the back end. But what we're going to do is we have to filter. So SCRAP, so scrape data. Then we're going to categorize. CATEGORIZE, yeah. And then what is the other thing that we need in here? Then we need to status, right? Active or deactive, etc. Okay, that's what we're gonna go with. Okay, so that's gonna be the mission. All right, UX design, database, properties, scraping. We're gonna pull all that information in together. We're gonna try to make it work, and then we need some sort of authentication layer on top of it, right? So, so the entire thing is a 100% invite only, as I mentioned. So we need some authentication. Okay, can't get access unless you get authenticated. And this is obviously for security processes there. So now there's a couple of backend things that I want to talk about for this scraping part. So let's just talk about this property section here and what's going to happen on the backend, because there's a few sources, right? We already had this question asked, which is like, where is the information coming from? So the information come from multiple places. One is going to come from email. Okay, the agent that we're working with, they get a whole bunch of emails of all different types of deals. And what I'm going to do is we're going to basically get those emails coming into the platform, and we're going to forward them into a system, Okay, we're going to forward them into a system. The system will basically go do some AI, right? We're just going to call it AI. That's the verb. Okay, it's going to do some AI. Okay, and then what it's going to do is going to basically filter them out, and then it's going to drop it into the property listing. Okay, so it's going to screen it, do some analysis, it's going to try to figure out what to do, and then it's going to basically say, okay, once we have that details, we're going to basically push it into the properties. So that's for email. The other one is obviously it's going to do some categorization. The other source that we have is actually WhatsApp. WHATSAPP. We won't get WhatsApp today because it's a little more complicated to kind of get set up, but we're going to try to get that done also. And then we have a bunch of word of mouth that we're going to try to figure out how to basically get a URL for so we could scrape the website. But we're just going to put scrape in this particular SCRAPE. Just going to put scrape. So that's going to be their server thing. And then actually there's still one more, which is the official APIs. Okay. But this is going to be last. We're not going to do that right off the top. So this is going to be the goal. This is going to be the mission. I'm going to pull information from all these multiple sources. We're going to aggregate it. We're going to put it into a whole bunch of AI stuff in it. Then we're going to basically screen it. Oh, sorry. And yeah, once we do that, we're going to drop it into this interface here. And again, the goal is to find the people that are interested. So now there's another layer on top of this database here that we need to talk about. So authentication is one, but we basically need, it's almost like think of it like Tinder matching, right? We need to match, we need a database that's going to, actually, let's just do it on, let's do it here. We need a database that's going to match users, match properties to investors. To INVS. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be the goal. Okay, so now that we have this in place, let's talk about the actual implementation itself. Come on. I'm fighting more with tools today than actually getting things done. All right, good. Okay, so that's mission number one. So we're going to go here. We're going to go try and see if we could get most of this sort of worked out, and then we'll talk about the other part of the entire application because we'll depend on time, right? We're going to be here for about an hour, 2 hours, and then kind of go from there. So, okay. So we're going to start with the easy things. UX, invite, form, and payment, which is basically Stripe, P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Okay, those are the easy stuff. We're going to get those out of the way. And then we're gonna tackle the database section. Then we're gonna do the whole scraping the API stuff last, in the interest of time, because at least we want to build out the entire front end first, and then go from there. Okay, so just a reminder, this is what we're building, and this is sort of the investment portfolio. You could kind of click into it. You could see properties. You could see the different pictures of the different buildings, and then you could say invest now, fill out your form, put in how much you want to invest. There's going to be some pre-screen and stuff like that, but this is basically sort of the mission. Okay, so let's go build something. Stop talking. So what do we need to start? As I mentioned, we're going to start with the invite only form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Sketch for this. I'm going to use Google Sketch for this section here. And I already have a bunch of ChatGPT prerequisite for this, of what is it that we're building. So, New York project, real estate, live coding platform. So, here. Right. So we're going to build a guests can, so this is the section that we're going to go build right now. Okay. Guests can see limited marketing option. So this is the section that we're doing. We want to be able to invite guests, qualify, they're going to pay, and then they're going to see full details of project properties, etc. They can raise hands, say I'm interested in the property, and they can see limited. So right, we got a weighted list. So here's what we're going to do. So let's do key rules: no invite, no sign up, no active Subscription, yes, read only. No active subscription, read only. Teasers, no details. Deals can be tagged. Yeah, let's do this part as well too. So we're gonna do these three in one shot. So let's just go down to the bottom here. We're gonna say, so give me a prompt that's going to work through the invite only section of the application. Make sure that you specify the different pages that are required to prompt the user, and then create a PRD prompt that I could use to create HTML pages for the different sections. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to take that, put it into ChatGPT. We're going to get a formal prompt. And once we get that formal prompt, we're going to take it and we're going to use that on, we're going to go with Sketch, Google Sketch, so that we can at least build out the UI and figure out customization a little bit. And we're going to go with Pro. Redesign your existing site. No, we don't want to do that. We're going to go with Pro. We're going to go with Web. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, so you're a senior project manager for front end, helping me design and implement we're building a invite only New York State real estate platform. Goals: get invite, qualifies, get invited. You'll be able to accept qualification links, see full details, address product, and raise hand. Things so key. Okay, so there's only a couple things that I probably want to change here. So walk through pages, requirements, stats. So public, marketplace, teaser, audience, on authenticated visitors, guests, create a clear, blah, 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 to your teaser. Okay, we're going to go with this and then we'll see how far we need to push it a little bit more. So real estate data can be expensive. All right. Let's copy this. Then we're going to go over to Google Sketch and we're just going to paste this in here and let it rip. What is this? What am I seeing here? Just want to go. Okay. Oh, I should specify that. Make sure all HTML is valid, blah, blah, blah. And easy extend it into a real Nuxt spa application later. Start by summarizing the overall flow 1 to 2 per. Okay, yes, fantastic. Okay, so let's see what Sketch comes up with. And again, the reason why we're doing Sketch is because it has an okay UI. Now, here's what's crazy about it. Gemini design, you know what? Let's just do both of them at the same time because the Gemini design in AI Studio is actually pretty good. And I think they're different models. So how do we know this? Let's, we're just going to show preview. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's go to home. Let's go to the new, try Gemini Studio. Then we're going to basically give me a HTML only web application based on the following requirements. And paste that. And let's just compare what both of them have because they just do different things. This is the problem with Google. They have 100 different products. They're going to kill half of them. And I guarantee you, by the time you get accustomed to it, it's just going to disappear. So, okay, Stitch is still going. This is... So here's a breakdown and HTML implementation for the new invite-only platform. Text, intended, click, subscribe, paywall, structure, dashboard, implementation, blur, public marketplace teaser. Okay, so we'll see. And Gemini is going pretty fast actually, which is impressive. So get in there, get in there. Yeah, no, interesting. No, do you know? Are you still there, David? I'm curious. Do you know of any real estate APIs that you've been looking at? Just kind of curious on if they're different than what I've been paying attention to. So, okay, preview generated SVG. So accept show preview. Okay, what's this? What is this? Jeez, bread. Hang on a second. I swear every week they change the UI. Get code. Oh my goodness. What have they done? So annoying. Last week you were able to just press the play button and see the whole thing. Now you got to do this. I don't even know what this is. What have they done? Raw mode. So how do I see? Jeez, so annoying. Gemini Pro. Let me just try it this way. Like they have different interfaces, right? So here, try this one too. Every time the interface keeps changing. Okay, let's see what Sketch has done. Okay, so what does this look like? It's okay. I'm not wowed by it. Let's see. New RT flow, request an invite, sign up. Your membership is inactive. Reactivate now to unlock. Request invite. Exclusive asset, curated deals, expert vetted. A glimpse of current opportunities. I mean, it's okay, but it's very basic. It's very basic. Yeah, I don't like it. Maybe in the interest of time, we might go ahead with it, but Gemini does a way better job. But this nightmare of an interface that these people have, like it's like, what is this? And I literally, like, I built an entire application in this tool last week, and now, like a week later, you come back and you can't even get like basic HTML to run in the thing. So annoying. Huh, go figure. So, okay, we got a couple options here. I could probably try to export the HTML manually. Let's try it. Can you run this for me? Let's try this and see what it does. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what they're doing here. Just a complete waste of time. Okay, so while this is trying to sort itself out and see if I could actually figure out how to run this properly, we're just going to run with this. Yeah, we're just going to run with this. So what we do is we just gotta, yeah, we're just going to go with this. So we're going to do view code. I'm going to copy this. And what we'll do is we're going to put, let's do this. Let's put it into local for a second. I know what to do. We're just going to do it locally. So we're going to bring it here. Bring it to this. Create a new project. We're just going to call it invite. landing. And we're going to just do a new terminal code. And we're going to just create an HTML. I'm going to paste that. Oops. I'm going to paste this code. Copy. And then we're going to say, we're going to go to Gemini. We're going to go to, where is it? Gemini 3 Pro. And we're going to say, can you improve the UI of this landing page so that it looks a little bit more modern and appealing to a very sophisticated high-end real estate buyer? Minimal, light, modern. Jeez. Modern. Let's do that. Okay? Because what we got right now is just, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. And this tool here has just become garbage. Unbelievable. So this is crazy. This here, let's see what they did this here. So can I run this directly? Yeah, they want me to copy and paste this. Okay, you know what? We'll copy and paste it too. So we'll just preview it and see what it looks like. Control C. We'll go here. We'll do index2.html. Paste it. And then we're gonna go live. By the way, I'm using, just so you know what I'm using to go. I'm using, yeah. See, it's okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Versus, which one do you guys prefer? Versus this one. If they both got the same concept, I guess. This is Gemini making things a little bit better. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with sort of the dark theme kind of thing. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll take this, because we are going with a dark theme, and then we're gonna take this here, and then we're gonna say, use this as a inspiration for the style guide. I like the gold, I like the, yeah, curved edges for sure. None of this hard edges, big icons. We want to blur the photo and the image, but we still want to be able to see a little bit of the property details. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Oh, what's going on with my camera? Computer, turn off the camera. Computer, turn on the camera. Oh, weird. Huh. Camera for some reason went out there. And let's see. Yeah, weird. I don't know what's going on there. Camera just went completely black. Where is this image pointing to? Yeah, that's really odd. Weird. Okay, never mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, yeah. So let's do, okay, not. Okay, it's better, but we're going to say still working there. Yeah, we're going to go with number 2 and we're just going to keep iterating on it. Yeah, it does feel a little high end. It does feel a bit high end. I think this will work. So, okay, whenever the Gemini finishes, we're going to make a couple of changes. I think it's done. Yeah, it definitely has a better design language, I'll tell you that. I don't necessarily like this font, but whatever. We're gonna go with it for now. So what I want to do is I want to kind of keep the same theme almost. So we're gonna use this screenshot. Open that up. I'm gonna copy this, copy the image, put that in here, and then we'll take. Can you use this color scheme as a reference? Also make sure that the buttons are all rounded corners, and ensure that we can see a little bit more visibility into the properties, so that when you can see the images, and make sure that there's more details on the property, so that it kind of entice people a little bit more. Actually, let's show like 2 rows of information, so it'll be 6 properties in total that's showing, and then ensure that there's a video members log. So ensure that you can log in, top right hand corner, but also allow a video to be played on the home page, so you can click and watch a video about the different properties. Let's go down my thing. Oh, jeez. So ensure that we have. What's going on with my audio? Whisper is not working now. Great. Hang on a second. Quit Whisper. WASP Whisper Flow. Let's try that again. Can you ensure that you use the design language as similar to the attached image? Also ensure that all of the buttons are rounded corners. Instead of members login in the hero image section, put a watch video so that they can see the details on the property, on an overview about the project. Also, I want 3 rows of 2 rows of properties, or 3 rows of properties actually. So current opportunities, I want to see 3 rows, and ensure there's proper paddings around the boxes. Right now the boxes don't have proper padding, and just clean up the UI a little bit so it feels a little bit more modern. Let's go with a more serif font rather than sans serif, or sans serif font without edges. Okay, so we're gonna try that. Control Shift V. Go with that. Okay, so the only thing we're trying to do here is we're just trying to just make this look a little bit better, just so at least it has some sense of, high-end feel to it. This is okay. It's not terrible. It's not bad. But I want it to kind of feel a little bit closer to this, which is what the inside will look like, right? These are done from 2 different applications. This was done with Gemini last week, and for some reason I can't even get Gemini to do any single thing this week, which is just crazy. And this, I did it with Sketch, which is a completely different design language. So now I'm trying to get I'm trying to get Gemini 3 to kind of make it feel a little bit closer to this. And this is one of the problems with these AI tools, right? Like, you're constantly trying to sort of like mix and match different different pieces together. I'm gonna guess that means thank you. That's what I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that means thank you. I think I've seen this before. Is it Turkish? It might be Turkish. Is it Turkish? TESEKKURLER in English. Thank you. Yes. See, I've recognized that word before. So, yeah, no, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. So we're gonna go through the details. We're gonna talk about stuff. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. How do I respond to? Can I respond to it? Put user time, remove user, go to. Most welcome. I could do that. Yes, okay. I could do that. I didn't realize I could chat in the chat, but I could also do it live too. So yeah, so we're just trying to make this look just a little bit better than what it is. Okay, so I don't know what it's doing, but okay, let's just wait until it finishes before we criticize the entire thing. I do like to watch video. Request access. Yeah, okay, it's not terrible. Exclusive access. We're going to make these icons a little bit bigger. The investment opportunities a little bit bigger. It's better. It's definitely feeling better. Just got to work on it a little bit more. We're going to do one more iteration, then we're going to move on to the next steps, which is to do the form, the sign up form, and then we're going to jump to the payment stuff right off the top, right? We want to make sure that we get payments, Stripe payments set up 100%. Super fast. Exclusive access, exclusive. Come on. Okay, it's coming together a little bit better. Are you still working? Yeah, still working. Okay, let's just give it some time. In the meantime, I'm actually curious how many of you are real estate people that are watching this. And if you are, put a comment either on the live or in the comment section whenever you're watching this. And let me know what are the things that you're struggling with real estate. Like if you're doing real estate projects or you're interested in real estate or you got a real estate project and you're trying to like vibe code it. Let me know what is it that you're struggling with. And I'm more than happy to answer some questions while we kind of wait on all this AI to generate code. This way, we don't have a bunch of dead silence while we're just waiting for code. I'm more than happy to answer questions as we kind of go. Small group, but that's okay. We're fine with small. Like I said, my motto is even if I could provide value to one other entrepreneur, that's fine by me. That's considered a win. So yeah. Okay, while I'm waiting, let's see, is this almost done? Okay, still going. Let's see if we can. I'll try to see if I could add some more destinations here. Destination, How would I add new destination while I'm on the live? Is that a thing? How to add new live in easy. So to add a new destination while live in Ecamm, click on the add button in the bottom right. Add button in the bottom right. No add button. And create new broadcast window. Select add new destination. Add button. Is it this one? Yeah, I have no idea. Add button. No clue what they're talking about. So steps to add destination while live or not. Access destination. In the main eCam window, look for the destination menu, which is which one? Destination menu? No. Current camera switcher. No, it's not that. This is the show sound, camera effects, so comments, interview, zoom, finish. Yeah, there's no destination menu here. What are you talking about? Preview. Maybe this guy? eCam, current application, eCam, Chrome, Whisper Float, no. I have no idea. Huh. I have no idea. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, yes, we got our real estate. Are we done? Yes. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that looks better. That looks better. Yeah, I like it. I just, the only thing I don't want to do is I want this to be blurred, right? And I don't like the font. So we're going to say, let's match up the fonts. And also we want to ensure that we're blurring the properties on the home page because we don't want the user to actually see the information until they sign up. So it needs to be blurred, but just enough so they could see the property photos. So blur it ever so faint. And then when they hover over it, you'll unblur it, but keep the text, the property names blurred. Right? I think that should work, right? Because we don't want them to see. Yeah, okay, yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, that would be the idea because the whole point is for you to be able to sign up, right? And also the font. I'm looking for a modern font versus. Sans serif stands for acronym sans serif. Sans serif fonts without small decorative lines. So let's do a sans serif font. I keep forgetting what's the difference. Sans serif font. So here, yeah, let's do sans serif font. Come on, confirm. Give me my confirmation here. Jeez, so slow. Also, let's do a sans serif font. Yeah, just gonna do that. And then we're done. We're gonna move on, I promise. Just want to make sure that I get to at least the core perfectly kind of thing. Request an invite, request access. Right. Now, we're gonna need another page, which is if you got an invitation, you need to fill out, it's gonna take you to a page that's gonna, yes, there we go. So a little bit better. I think I might play around with that a little bit more. I don't necessarily like this as well too. It's just actually the unfair advantage in New York City is a little bit better. So maybe I'm yeah. Okay. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Font is not the best. Okay, almost there. I might be showing too many properties on the homepage also. Okay, so assuming yeah, we're see, I like this padlock and the members only, right? So we should tell it to keep some of that element. So let me just take a screenshot of that. So just by the way, all I'm doing is I'm just basically just taking screenshots and just pasting it, right click, pasting into the chat window, so at least I could give it a better prompt. Man, it's slow. Oh, wish you could move a little bit faster here. I apologize. Come on. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer than anticipated. So we might have to move on. Okay. Trying to be patient with the AI. Okay, so we're going to work with this just in the interest of time. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell it to put the padlock on front of it. Okay, so I'm going to create a new thing. And we're going to say, for all of the properties, put a padlock and say members only on it. And then whenever you click, we need to go to a second page where the user will be required to fill out a form with additional details. Also, ensure that the header and the footer spans the entire width of the website. Keep the content centered, but make sure that the header and footer spans the entire width of the website. Use this image as a reference. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to put a padlock here so it kind of looks very clear that this is exclusive. It's members only, right? We don't want to make sure that people know for sure that it's like you can't access this until you request a sign up. So while that's happening, let me just go back to the requirements just to make sure that. So basically we want clear handle, short explanation, or request invite already. We want to make sure that we have a. So you need it. So we're gonna have to put some sort of invite code, right? Short copy explaining the access invite limited, blur, are you curated investor, submit request investment. On submit shows a status, state thank you for listening. Yeah, and then acceleration page on board invite only. Okay, and then a login page. Okay, so we're gonna just copy this and let it just make sure that it fills out these other pages. We're gonna let Gemini do it because it's doing a pretty good job on the UI side. So we want to continue, right? Like we want to continue the at least the layout of everything. So the unfair, real estate, request access, watch video. We're going to make these icons a little bit bigger because we want to make them a little more prominent. And like I said, we're going to get these properties listed here with the request access. When you click on view details, it's just going to prompt you to request access to log in first. Stop missing out on NYC best off-market deals. Join the exclusive network of investors and get access to opportunities you don't find anywhere else. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good marketing, actually. So, okay, so hang on. Hopefully it's finished soon. Taking forever. Yeah, I like it. It's looking pretty good, if I would say so myself. So yeah, anyway, for those who join in for the very first time and don't know what the hell we're doing, we are building a real estate application that's going to be invite only. The cost is going to be $2,000 per month, and it's an exclusive deal finder for investors that are looking to tap into the real estate market in New York City in itself. This is not a toy project. It's a real project that I'm actually building. I'm just building it in the open while I talk and teach about vibe coding. And yeah, if you got any questions about sort of the process, or where I'm getting these deals from, or my thoughts about the real estate market, which I'm not an expert on because I'm building it for somebody. Let me know if you have any questions. And also, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing on the back end around scraping data from public sources. So we're going to be using Cloudflare for that. There's lots of things that we're going to be doing around taking emails and then turning them into listings. So what happens is this real estate agent that I'm building this project for gets a lot of deals coming by emails. And so all we want to do is get those deals coming, then basically use AI to enhance them, and then we want to put them into the application, and so that investors can kind of browse them. And we're going to be going in, aka the real estate the real estate agent is going to go in and then actively approve those deals to decide whether they're like low risk, high risk, medium risk, like whatever, right? Like they're going to be scoring them on some sort of criteria, and so that the investors have sort of exclusive access to hot deals that are like coming on the market and just coming off the market in like a day or two. So it's going to be like a very hot profile. And eventually we're going to build out a whole notification system so that you could subscribe to the criteria of the deal that you're looking for. And we're going to just send those deals directly to you. So that's what we're building. There's lots of back-end stuff that has to be built out. Right now on this particular call, what we're really focused on is basically the front end, the UI, the experience, and then we're going to shift into the back-end technical stuff in the coming weeks. When I jump back to, oh yeah, I like that. Members only. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Members only. Okay, now when you click there, oh, fantastic. Okay, it's just that okay, so two things I want to do. One is I want to increase these icons because I don't like them. So can you increase the icons so they're much bigger for the exclusive, curated, excellence, and expert vetted? Make them significantly bigger so they're more prominent, and maybe even make the text for the head in gold, because I do like that. And then whenever you and the call to action at the bottom, the button should be gold. Like the color is gold for the call to action, so it needs to be that same gold color. Control-Shift-V. Oops. Perfect. Yeah, I like this. This is looking really good. I love the padlock. The padlock is really nice, subtle. You see, you get a little bit of subtle sort of movement on the image in the background, just enough that you could see it, but not enough that you can, make out the actual image. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Enough that you can make out the image, but not enough that you can get the details. And then obviously, when you click in View Details, it's just going to take you to the landing page where you just got to sign up, right? Because that's the mission. The goal is to sign up. So yeah, as soon as we get through this UI here, we're going to jump into the Stripe portion of this set up. I just want to get this right before everything. In fact, what I'll do is I'll start setting Stripe going on the background here. STRP. We're going to set it up on a test account first, and then we'll get into setting it up on a real account. Dev test. So sign in, and then let's do dev test. Set a real account. Yeah, we got a real account, a test account. You're using the test data. Stay in test mode. Yeah, so okay, yes, okay, I like that. That's looking good. Much bigger, better. That's fantastic. We don't need any filtering here, so we're going to remove those filtering. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9, sure. You know what? I think I only want 6. I only want to show 6 properties. Only show 6 properties. Yeah, let's do only show 6 properties. We're going to remove this filter. And then let's just find a New York, real estate New York. So let's just do this right away. So only show 6 properties and remove the property filters because we don't want to see any filtering. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, hey, you know what? I was watching a really cool video just today. Actually, it woke me up because I had YouTube playing in the background about New York architecture, which is really, really fascinating. By the way, if you're into any of this architectural stuff, this is by far one of those best videos that I recommend. It was just a video that this is an architect guy, and he was talking about all the history of the different buildings in New York and like how they evolved. It's a really, really fascinating story of some of these buildings and the architecture and how the style kind of evolved over time. Anyway, I digress. But my point is that it was just a cool video to watch. So I'm going to click on, when you click watch video, I want it to pop up a modal box that's going to allow you to watch a YouTube video. So when you click on the watch video on the home page, it needs to pop up a modal box with the YouTube video that will be playing in the box. So here, use this video as a reference. So yeah, okay, so this looks good. We're gonna get rid of the 6. We're gonna make this thing, and then what we're gonna do, like I said, when we click on request invite, it's gonna take us to another page, and that second page will allow us to fill in the details, which we're gonna take from this. So I don't need a members dashboard and all this. You know what? Let's just pull. Yeah, we're gonna just get it to complete this section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a PRD. Let's see. Can you turn this into a PRD and create a checklist of all the different pages that need to be built out, and create a task list for all the pages as well. So PRD stands for Project Requirements Document. So we're just going to take that. We're just going to drop it into ChatGPT. Sorry, into things. So yeah, we're going to do a PRD. Project Overview, Core, Members, Admin. And then we're going to create a task list for the different pages. Authentication, login, landing page, teaser, deal section, click to action, yes. Request invite only. Request invite page, confirmation, accept page. Yeah, so we're going to work through this list here. Yeah, let's do that. This way we got a proper foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this. No, don't want to do wireframe or all that kind of stuff. Okay. So, right, let's go back to this, make sure that it looks good. Okay, so we did get rid of those filters. That's great. Watch video. It's not centered. What's going on? The watch video on the YouTube is not centered, and it should be in its own window. so that with a proper close button so that you can close it. Annoying. What is that? Okay, so I do like this. This is good. This is good. Yeah, so we're going to take to the next step now where we're going to add some more layers to it. Should we call it deal flow? Deal flow NYC? Sure, maybe. We'll see. Okay, so while this is working, we're going to create a new page. You know what we'll do? Let's do this. Let's use the agent. I don't normally use agent because things. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the agent. We're going to do Gemini again. And we're going to say, can you take this information and can you create a docs folder with a PRD, a task list, and a feature list, and link them all together so that we can keep track of all the different pages that we're creating. We already have the landing page, which is index.html. So make sure that you check off the things that are already done based on the current page. So we're going to send it into, we're going to run multiple agents locally and see what happens. So while this is creating the PRD, the documents, etc., fixed cornering, let's close this. We're going to keep creating agents and see what happens. Click on, okay. Why did it refresh? Yeah, okay, like it. Not bad. Love the curved edges. All right, nice. Okay. So we got this, really good. We got this, that's perfectly fine. And request invite, yes, perfect. Okay. It's a good video. It's a good video. Okay, so we got the foundation going. We got the, we're going to be doing the landing, we're going to be doing the different pages. I just want to get the PRD working correctly. Is this going? What's going on here? Did I not submit this? Cancel. Oh, this is some kind of weird bug here. This is... Okay, so we got the PRD, we got the task list, and let's go back to agent for a second here. Click on history. Okay, so that was that. That was just a bug. And so now what I would do, go back to this. We need to use ChatGPT. This one. Man, these guys are just dropping UI interface all over the place. And I'm going to create a GitHub Copilot instructions file. So at least I have some instructions. That's going to be the master instructions for the entire thing. Okay. And while we're getting this organized, what I want to make sure that we're doing is we're going to go create those other pages. So we want to ensure that whenever we click on the request invite, it takes us to the sign up page, to the sign up landing page. If we click on view details for the project, it's going to say sign up request invite only. It's going to prompt you, get your details first, and then it's going to prompt you to the actual paywall. This accurately reflects your preferred workflow. Okay, so, right. Now, can you link the GitHub Copilot instructions to the docs where I have the PRD task and whatever? Ensure that the GitHub Copilot instructions has a reference to those files. So what are we doing here? We just want to make sure that every single thing that we have in the GitHub Copilot instructions is going to be linked directly in referencing these files here, the PRD and the task list and the feature list, which is has all the features, because we want to just kind of set up the onboarding section, and we want to set up the login page and the members only deal section. We already have that. Right? I'm going to take this project and I'm going to bring it into the bigger project, which is a real project that I'm working on, but I just want to get the basics working out right, and I want to make sure that all of the pieces are correct first. So essentially what I'm trying to do is make sure that I could click around this entire application first, right? I could click around and just kind of use it as like a dummy application before I get into the details of having to, work on the code inside of things, right? This is super important, very, very important that you kind of get that right. Okay, so we're going to close this, close this, close this. And then now I'm going to say, based on the PRD, so is there anything else we want to change here? Not really. I think it's good. This is good. So we're going to say, based on the PRD, can you create the functionality, so when you click on request access, that it takes me to the secondary page that tells the user, that gives them sort of like the outcome so that they can see the value, and it'll have a form so that they could fill in the details, and it'll ask them questions related to whether they're an accredited investor, whether they're looking to buy, whether they're looking to sell, like, or property, all that type of information, and put sort of like a brief description of like what are the type of deals that they're looking for in words. And then only when they click submit, it'll then take them over to the paywall so they can actually pay to subscribe. So it's going to be sort of a 3-step process in that regards, or 2-step process. So if you can build out those pages so we can kind of have the full flow based on the PRD. Also ensure that you update the task list and feature list for all the pages that you've completed. Right, so just to recap, we got our PRD document here, right? That has sort of the overall specification. We got our task list, which has all of the different things that we want to build out. And we have our feature list. And so it's just going to go through one by one, create those pages, and then it's going to check off the status as it kind of goes along. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that whenever I click on request access, it's just going to work. If I click on watch video, it's going to work, right? I could change it. When I click on view details, it's also going to work. It's going to take me over to the correct section, right? I lost my local host. So that localhost 5000. Oops. TML. Really? That's fine. Try again. Oh my goodness. Okay, tell you what. Copy this. Click on new. Paste. Enter. This is Gemini failing because there's just too much load on it. So I'm using Gemini because it's a decent model on UI, better than Claude in my opinion, and better than ChatGPT, which seems to just put out the same garbage. Gemini, they've definitely spent some time cleaning up sort of the UI section of thing, right? Like I was able to get this, and if you notice the very subtle animation that you're seeing on this, it is directly because of Gemini. right? And I did some hacking to kind of put them together, but for the most part, it's all Gemini, and it's really good. So that's the reason why I'm using the Gemini model, because it actually does a very good job of just kind of helping with the UI things. So I'm just getting some things here. By the way, complete random topic. I was in the US last week for Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving to my US friends. And this, you can't see it properly. Maybe you can. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Payday. There you go. By far, my best chocolate ever. Most people will disagree with that statement, but I will die on a hill for this. Okay, I cannot get this in Canada. Just for the record, I cannot get this in Canada. It just doesn't exist. So when I go to the States, if I get to a gas station or Walmart or whatever, I just I just buy in bulk. Let's just say that the people at the checkout counter thinks I'm crazy. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying, Payday all day long. Such a great chocolate. I don't know why it's not in Canada. Maybe it just has a bunch of chemicals. I have no idea. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. And actually, on that note, what I found out was, so I can't get Payday in Canada. That's Payday. I can't get Payday in Canada, and it turns out that in America you can't get O. Henry, and I'm like, what? This didn't make any sense. Anyway, just random bit of information for you there. So, if you see me eating, that's what I'm eating. Payday. Okay. Hopefully this thing is doing something, and we're not just wasting time chatting. So I don't know why it won't. So weird. If I do localhost, it doesn't work, but I have to do 127. I have to do the actual IP address. So weird. Okay, so this still works. That's fine. If I click on view access, that doesn't work. If I click on request access, okay, so that's going here. So that's great. Join the exclusive community of investors accessing off-market New York real estate deals. Name, email address, investor profile. Are you an accredited investor? No. Are you looking to buy or sell? Sure. Is it allow me to do both? It shouldn't allow me to do both. Okay, yeah, I guess you could do both there. Property types, multifamily, offshore, industrial. Or it should just be one that says all. Sure. Describe your ideal deal criteria. What is it that you're looking for? Is there any single thing else I need to put on this form? Submit. Requests. I want to put like some kind of property in the background, make it sort of like on the request access page, make sure that we're using sensory font, put some sort of imagery, something that gives it sort of like a feeling. It could be in the background, it could be subtle, it could be blurred. It just needs a little bit more emotional feeling. And also, we need some questions, like qualifying questions to understand sort of like your net worth, right? So where are you from a net worth standpoint? We need something around that lines that's not too invasive, but enough that people are willing to answer, so that we can kind of grade the investor that's signing up properly. Yeah. Okay. All right, so those are going to be your qualifying questions. Name, email address, phone number. How can we forget? We need direct access phone number. And every single thing here is going to be validated. You cannot get to the next page unless if you put your email address inside of here, it needs to be validated. We're going to check it in real time. where it's valid. We're going to check your phone number. We're going to check every single thing 100% so that there's no bogus information that's coming in, and that you're not messing with us. So I think, yeah, actually, what? That's a good point. So I think what we'll do is, yeah, what we'll do? When you type in your email address, we're gonna do a check, see if it's a valid email, and then should we get you to confirm right away? Yeah, I want to make sure that you can stay on this page and it's like it's just being done in real time. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll validate the email address and we'll ask you for some. We'll send you a code that you have to put in right away from your email on this same page. Yeah, that's what we'll do because we want to validate everything 100%. All right. So okay, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Okay. It's coming together. It's coming together, guys. The UX is just taking a little bit longer as usual. The UX is always sort of like the thing. In terms of the Stripe side, let's just go look at that, by the way. So let's just talk about where we are because that's important too. Yeah, am I missing anything from here? Yeah, no, I think I'm done with this. I don't need this anymore. Right, so this is going to cover. Where are we? Here. Yeah, so we got our invite page. This is our form that we're working on. Now we're moving over to payments and Stripe. And like I said, this is going to be a very simple subscription page. And then we're going to go tackle the database side of things. But I want to make sure that whenever the user enters the form, when they click on, before they click on submit, after they, what I'm going to do is, basically what we're going to do is, after they fill out, trying to make this into a way. So we're going to say, after they click on this, click on buy, click on whatever, and they select the thing and they click in this box, they fill in the details, it's going to ask them for a code from SMS, and it's going to ask them for it's going to ask them for their mobile number, which you have to put in the code for, and their email address. And if you don't put that in, you just cannot sign up. It's very simple. Like we're validating people as we go. So that's going to be the requirements, because we want to make sure that there's no, bogus information that's being filled out here, just so that you could see deals, right? Okay, so that's what are the qualifying questions? So capital, individual, family investor, institutional investor. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Less than 5 million. Yeah, okay, there we go. Remember LinkedIn, how did you hear about us? So that's fine. Referral code, referred by, optional. Okay, so that's fine. So now we need the phone number. We need the phone number, mobile phone number, and also just before the submit button, they're going to be required to enter a code for the email, a code that we sent to them by email, and a code that we sent to them by mobile, so that before they click on the submit button, they have to validate those codes have to be entered so that we could confirm that it's a legit person. Yeah. So we're just locking things down, like I said, so to make sure that we're not getting any bogus information across together, right? This way people know that we're serious. It's not like a, sort of like, oh, you could just kick the tires, get access, and then your thing. And then only when you get to the next page, then you think, yeah, so we got a mobile phone number. So phone number, mobile phone number. That's great. And we need one more details. Yeah, in fact, we don't even know. I don't know if we need phone number, but sure, we could do that. No, you know what? We don't need. We only need mobile phone number. To ensure your identity or community, please verify your contact information. Send codes. Send verification codes. Yeah, we only need mobile phone. We're only going to take mobile phone number and display at the section below where the codes will be required to be entered, so that we just have it visually, and then we're going to programmatically hide and show it accordingly. Yeah. So basically, what I'm just going to only take a mobile phone number, and then we're only going to, I'm going to put the section here so at least you could see you're required to put an email code and an SMS code before you submit. All right. This way we know for 100% certain you understand that we're not BSing and we're authenticating people, valid. Right. Okay. So assuming that, what's going on here? Why is that duplicated? Okay. Some sort of weird glitch there. Yeah. It might just be because of the page being generated. Okay. So like I said, we're moving on to this section here, which is on the Stripe payment side. So what do we have to do? We have to go into Stripe. And again, I'm just using a test account here just for this. I don't even know. I don't remember this account. Doesn't matter though. So we're just going to go to product catalog. We're going to create a new product. And that product will be investor subscription. So exclusive real estate deal access, and it's going to be US. It's going to be 2,000 monthly. Accept all. Click on add. Okay. And we might do one more. We might do one more because there's another product that we have at the same time too, which is if you're a seller. So if you want to list your property, list on a private market. Let's go to seller. Okay, so essentially what this is basically a curation of high network individuals that we're basically, already vetted, that are looking for properties that you could list your property and we'll do a sell-in for you. And it's going to be $1,000. Okay, so exclusive deals. No. Sell your property fast. Okay, again, this is just with the test product, but basically this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to have two of them. Monthly. Actually, this will be a one-off fee. Right? Yeah, this will be a one-off. Monthly, daily, custom, 1 month. Yeah. It's a one-off, not a reoccurring. Or did I do that wrong? Let me just go back there. Was there one, or was there a, oh yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. One-off. That's what I meant. Yeah. That's what it should have been. So it shouldn't have been a real, let's delete this one. We're going to create this. Seller. Not subscription. Okay, and it's a one-off, not a reoccurring. It's gonna be $1,000. To list your properties and click on add. Sell your property fast. Okay. All right, so we have these two, $1,000 subscription And yeah, okay, so now that we have that, let's just go back here, see what we got here in the request form. You must first enter your email address. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's just fill all this in. Send subscription. It's going to send the subscription, send identity validation. There we go. Code sent to your email and phone number. And then you're going to basically put in your email verification, put in your SMS verification. There we go. Then you're going to click on submit. Now you're perfect. Look at that. All right. So member subscription. Build monthly, cancel any single time, $2,000. Subscribe with Stripe. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. The only thing it didn't do any. Oh, yeah. It did do an imagery back here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So. Okay. So I think we got all the pieces. Let's click on view details. So if you, okay, so we got to link all of them together now. So let's do this. So let's ensure that when we click on view details, that it takes us to the form if we're not already signed in. And also on the actual membership unlock Stripe page, it needs to have some sort of imagery as well too. And we need something to show how many deals are currently active. Something that creates excitement around the deals that are currently active in the portal so that they could, pay the money and then get access to the deals immediately. All right. So request access, click on that. Send verification code. All right, we're going to put some more validation around that. That's fine. And then we're going to basically make sure that, like I said, I think this here we got to get rid of. We got a double footer at the bottom there. But this is looking good. We're cooking. We just got some font issues, but we'll clean that up. Not a big deal. We'll clean that up. So on that request form, right, there's two potential buyers that we might have it. Right now it's request only, most sophisticated buyer. However, if you are interested in selling, are you looking to do, what are you looking to do? Buy or sell? You know what? We're going to make this, single choice, because if you're looking to buy, and you know what? We might have a kind of a duplication here. Primary capital source, individual, investor, family, portfolio. How did you hear about us? Referral code, optional. So your referral code is what's going to get you access to the platform. Are you an accredited investor? We don't need this. So if you say I'm an individual investor, are you an accredited investor? Okay, that still makes sense. How did you hear about us? Yeah, that's fine. Multifamily. Yes, identification. Okay. All right. I think this makes sense. This makes sense based on what we're trying to do. All right. So again, what's going to happen is you're going to have traffic come into this page. They're going to click on a video. The video will just give them sort of an overview of the different types of properties and what the deals are, and a preview of inside the portal, which will be looking like this. So they can see a preview of the portal, what it'll look like. They could click on the details, and they could see the financial details of the project. Actually, I think I have one with some more details financially. Let's see. Yeah, so here, as an example, you can see all the financial details. You could click on invest now and we'll already have your details here. So it's just going to be a case of what is it that you're trying to invest in. And then obviously somebody's going to call them and kind of work through the details, but that's kind of the goal. And it's an exclusive portal. So what we're trying to do now is just make sure that, let's fill this in. yeah, we're gonna let's make the what are you looking to do, buy or sell? It should only you only should be able to choose one option. You should only be able to either buy or sell, not both. Because it's going to send the user to a different subscription page depending on if they're selling. Then it's going to tell them to a page that basically will charge them for Stripe $1,000, and if they're buying, it's going to send them to a different page that's going to be more. If they're doing investments. Sorry. Okay. And also, this what do we need to do here? We need to get rid of this. We need this double entry to go away. All right, more payday for me. Sorry, just stuffing my face with payday. In case you missed it. Best chocolate bar ever. By far. I'm sorry. I will die on that hill every time, all day long. Trying to keep my blood sugar up here. Okay, so where are we? Are we almost done here? We're almost done. Let's. We just got to get rid of this extra footer here, and then I think we're golden. We got to request access. We could fill out the form. By the way, I'm using this fake filler extension. Fantastic. It's called Chrome Fake Filler. It's such a simple little tool. I don't know why it's free, but it has tons of ratings, and there's an official. There's pricing for it too. Oh, I didn't know that. What does the pricing do? $3.99 per month. No ads, no ads, and no tracking. Oh, I didn't know they have ads. Oh no, 25 custom fields, unlimited custom fields. This is generous. Sync your settings. $40 per year. Anyway, it's a fantastic little tool. I don't know how to make money, but yeah. Well, I do know how to make money, but I'd be curious to know what percentage of people actually pay them. It's a great little tool, by the way. So where are we? There's an extra footer on the page. Extra footer on the request invite page. The request invite page has a double footer. Right. So fill this out. We want to buy or we want to sell. Multifamily, real estate, property type of interest. Sends code. This is going to basically send the code. You're going to send an SMS. You're going to put that code in your phone number. You're going to put this on your email. Then you're going to click on submit. Because I'm selling, we're going to the submission page. So seller's membership. So it's $1,000 per listing. Pay with Stripe. There we go. And then on the buyer side, it's $1,000 for the membership. Fantastic. We are cooking. Back to the home, request access. Now, it's not very clear that it's both for sellers and for buyers, and that's okay. We're going to kind of keep it very simple in that regard, because then I don't want to complicate it too much. Yeah, see here? 12 deals currently active. Love it. Love it. Right. I don't know if it should be on that side, but yeah, we're going to make that actual real number coming from the database. It's going to be pinging all the time, getting real world statistics. Okay, so I think we got all the pieces in place, guys. So let's just put the Stripe links in place. So this is pretty straightforward. So we just need to make, where's that page now? How do we do this? Edit, come on. Go back to products, and then Where's the link? Jeez. The link is, am I going crazy? Click on this, archive product, copy to live mode. This account is in test mode. Please complete your business profile. Okay, to accept live payments. Okay, that's fine. But how do I should be able to just link to the testing. I need to accept payments, complete your business profile. You're in test mode. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I should be. It's annoying. I don't want to fill that out just so I could do a test. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain there's a way to get to it. Okay, so let me see if they'll figure it out with the URL here. So seller. This is the seller product ID. And let me see, it should be able to create the page without me having to figure it out. And then this is the buyer or investor ID. Right. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is, the only reason I can't finish get the actual URL is because this is a test product page and it's not giving me the actual URL, but that's fine. ChatGPT might be able to figure this out. And if not, that's totally cool. All we care about is just getting the basic setup. We're going to send it over to a page, and then we'll once we set up our actual profile on the real account, then this is gonna make more sense. Now what we should do, okay, so I think I got all the pieces, so I could actually move on some of the more advanced stuff. So let's just double check what we got. We got the invite page done. We got the form done. We got Stripe payments done. So now we're at the users and database. So we're gonna hit Cloudflare. We already have a database in Cloudflare. We got a D1 database in Cloudflare. We're gonna create a sign up, GNUP. Right, and or we're gonna create a users, and we're gonna basically have all the different profile, all the different details about that user in there, including their status, active, inactive, etc., and if they're active in Stripe, etc., all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna set that up. This way we can keep track of the user as well as whether they have an active subscription in Stripe. Because if they cancel in Stripe, we want to basically revoke their access almost immediately from the portal. Right? Now we could say from the next month or something like that, but really and truly, for the most part, we just want to remove their access. So let's do this. So is this gonna work? Yeah, let's see. So fill that out. Click on a buyer. Yes, we're going to fill out that details. We're going to send a notification. We're going to put in a code. We're going to put in another code. We're going to click on submit. Then we're going to click on subscribe to Stripe, and it's a redirect. I don't want to do the pop-up, but that's okay. Redirecting to Stripe for buyers. Use protocol typically requires a price ID for checkout. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, okay. So this is as far as we can get without actually start implementing real stuff now. So what I'm going to do is now we got our HTML kind of worked out. The only thing that's bothering me is we're still using these serif fonts. So we got to make sure that all the fonts are sans serif. Can you review the entire application, make sure that all the fonts are sans serif, and then also update all of the task and feature lists of the things that has been completed so far. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Now we move on. Got to do some back-end stuff. So let's go talk about Cloudflare for a second. So what are we going to do? Cloudflare. So I actually already have a database for this on the back end. So we're just going to build on this database, which will make things a little bit easier. And let me just enable my thingy here. And then let me just open this out. And let me go to Cloudflare. We're going to go to storage D1. What are we looking for? D1 SQL database. AI summarizer. NYC properties. There we go. Okay, so we're looking. Just 1 second here. So edit. Doot. Click on that. And doot. Explore data. Okay, so we have a D1 database. Edit blur. Called NYC properties in Cloudflare. Click on this. And if I click on explore, this database here has a whole bunch of properties, because again, this is kind of a broader project where the backend is going to go and crawl a whole bunch of properties and pull them into the system and curate them and all that kind of stuff. So there's a whole bunch of database structure that's already been set up for it already. What we care about now is we just want to create a user profile that's going to accept all of the requests that we just put in here. And no, where are we? Here. So when we click request access, we just want to create a user profile that's going to basically take all of this information, including the validation code, etc. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell, we're going to be creating a Cloudflare D1 database. So I need you to create the schema. It should be all snake case that is going to basically accept all of the information from the request invitation form, request invite form, as well as keeping track of whether the email was validated and the phone number was validated, and any of the other options that they selected, as well as if they were active Stripe customer or not. So give me the schema for that. Also update the PRD so that we have the specifics for the form, so that the backend API implementation can be set up correctly. Right. So all we're doing is all of this information here. We're going to create a user profile that's going to take these details, all of the information that they asked for, that we asked for here, and thing. Now keep in mind that they do need a referral code. So okay, referred by optional. We'll see how this works. We'll see how this works. The referral code is going to be invite only, but we're going to see. Right. Okay, so here's our SQL. What are we going to call it? Invitation request. No, we won't call that. We're just going to create it, call it users. So we're going to call it users. Let's call the database users. Should be users. Because we're going to have admin users, and we're going to also have investors, buyers, sellers, etc. Let's just make sure that it's doing the right thing. Yeah. All right, almost there. So assuming that we can do that, I'm going to create our user database. It's going to have the status. It's going to help us to categorize the different investors. And then we're going to need some way to kind of match interests with properties. So this is going to be a separate table that's going to track when the user says, I'm interested in a property, that they could see all the properties that they're kind of interested in. And then there's going to be some kind of admin portal that will be able to kind of review those investors and then see what properties they're actually interested in. Okay, so we just got to think about the authentication part of things. I think what we're going to do is once the user actually pays, it's going to send them a welcome email so that they could then log in, sign up and like log into the system, create a username and password. All right, so let's do, okay, is it me or did this completely change the schema? Yes, it did. Why did you change the schema? The last one had significantly more fields than this table. Really? What a stupid thing. It literally just removed half the fields. Annoying. Okay, so while that's being done, like I said, we're going to create another table that's going to do this. But what we need to do now is I'm going to take all this stuff that I've been working on separately, because if you notice, I've just been working on the UX design. Okay. And now I'm basically just trying to get the schema because it was just based off of the UI. I'm going to take that now. I'm going to drop that into the main project that I have, which is a Nuxt tree project, Nuxt tree project. Okay. And then we're going to separate sort of the front end and the back end, and we're going to make things into proper components so that we can reuse them properly. So that's what we're going to do. So I have already a project. And just got to make sure I find the right thing. So client is be called DP Homes Investor Portal. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to basically put it into this project here. Oops, this one here. Yeah. So we're just going to manually just put all those files in there. Is it doing anything? No. The previous schema inviter had 19 columns. Current schema users 20 columns. All previous. This does not. What are you saying? There's no way that this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We're just going to use this. I don't know why it's telling me that like this schema and this schema here is the same as this one. Go figure. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna just come here. We're gonna go to Cloudflare. Where are you, Cloudflare? We're gonna go to Cloudflare here. We're just gonna paste this. We're missing some fields here. Is there anything we're missing? I've created that, created timestamp. Created that and updated that. This is what we need. is active subscriber, yes. So we just needed this, and we're going to create it. We're going to call it users. Okay, so it's going to have an ID, first name, last name, email address, mobile, capital source, individual, family, developer, portfolio size, referral code, is accredited investor, intent, buy or sell. You know what we should do? We should do this should be different. We should just make this like intent boolean, because we might end up changing our mind later. BUY, change this to a boolean, right? And then we should do the same thing, because it's possible that one person could be both a buyer and a seller. We don't want to change this later on. We'll just basically separate it like this. Sell, right? And property type, deal criteria, evil validation, Stripe customer ID, is active subscriber, created at, why is this a duplication? This is definitely a duplication. Okay. Interesting. It's a duplication. Created at is a duplication. There's some weird stuff happening here. There's some weird stuff happening here. Oh, interesting. So deal, phone number, Stripe ID is active subscription. Yes, it's a property types, intent, buy, sell, accredited, referral code. We got all this. It's just duplication. Capital source, portfolio size, referral. That's why. Weird. I don't know why I duplicated it. Don't know why I duplicated it. Interesting. Okay, this should work. Let's just see. Problems. No, executed. Users. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know why I duplicated that. So weird. Okay, so we just got to take. Just got to take. So we're going to take this vibe coded app, which is basically in my vibe coded project, invite landing page, which is this one here. We're going to take all of this. Let me close this because we don't need this anymore for now. And we're going to take all of this, copy, and we're just going to paste it in this project here. Replace all. No, no. Replace. No, don't want to. No, undo. Stop. I don't want to replace. I want to put it in here actually. So keep both. So we're gonna put it as landing page. We're gonna rename this to landing page. Good. Okay, so what are we doing? And then one more thing I need to do with this. I'm going to just change, because this is not the right name. This is the name that I'm actually changing it to. So instead of investors portal, it's going to be yeah, that's fine. Investor portal. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to go in here, new. Okay. So I'm just going to work directly on this project here. And what I've done so far is I basically just took the HTML from the previous project, which we're working on, and took the landing page and just brought it in here. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to just basically just get, let's use Claude for a bit, because Claude is better at this stuff here. So we're going to go with Sonnet 4.5 or Opus? Which one? Doesn't matter. 4 is fine, actually. Let's go with 4.5. Let's go with the latest and the greatest. Opus is also there as well too, but we're just going to go with 4.5. So what we're going to say is, can you take this landing page and embed it into the rest of the application and ensure that it turns it into proper components so that we can have a landing page and there could be a sign-up page, the request sign-up page, and also the subscription page, and implement it properly in Nuxt tree and Nuxt so that there's a proper flow in the entire application. So if the user visits the website for the very first time, they should be hitting the sort of like landing page. And then if they click on request access, then obviously they could do the sign up flow, or they could click on sign in. And then once they go through the authentication process, they'll put them into the actual deal flow so they could see all the deals, which means we need to rename the deal page to something else. Investment, properties, whatever it is, so that it's not part of the, it's not the home page. And separate them in folders so that we have some proper structure on the application. Use the docs folder. I've added some docs. Take those docs and then merge it into the main application docs folder, and then update the GitHub Copilot instructions files. Okay. So I've given it significantly more details because I find that 4.5 is actually really good at just kind of taking all of my sort of random set of instructions and kind of putting them together. So I'm not too worried about that, but just for to make sure that everybody's on the same page of what we're doing here, we're taking the landing page that I created, right, which is sitting here, right? This is just a basic HTML website. We're going to take it and we're going to embed it into this project that already has a header, that already has sort of like a, you know, login kind of portal, etc. And we're going to try to merge them together. These are components, so we're just going to basically take all that stuff and kind of merge it into the real project. And then the hope is that ChatGPT will just, no, ChatGPT, Sonnet in this particular case, will just kind of break things up into actual components, reusable components, so that it's more scalable from a design architecture layout standpoint, right? So it's going to put them in proper folders and make things into proper components so that we can reuse the components accordingly. So that's what we're doing. That's the mission. In the meantime, I'm going to have another chocolate break. By the way, there's a couple people on the call. Feel free to ask questions if you got any questions. So good. So good. Hopefully this is making some sense to you guys. Right, it's kind of a lot of moving parts. Okay. Enough eating on live stream. So yeah, right, just to make sure, go back to our fancy diagram here. Maybe I should clean this up a little bit. It looks a little confusing now. Eraser, E, is it? Yeah. And clean all this stuff up. So just to recap, trying to do the recaps more often because people are kind of jumping in and jumping out. So at least, you know, you'll be able to somewhat follow along if you're just joining in. All right, so what are we doing? Just to make sure everybody's on the same mission, some goal, etc. Okay, there's two primary objectives. Number one is, oops, where's my pen? So number one is people are going to hit some sort of landing page, L-A-N-D-I-N-G, page. Okay, That landing page, the traffic might be coming from n number of sources. We don't know where the source is coming from. It might be coming from a Facebook ad, right? So we might put some ads hitting this landing page. It might be coming from, phone calls. Okay. It might be coming and then agents sending them to this page, or it might be coming from invites, referrals. Okay. So you might get a couple of invite codes, and then I might send it to you. And maybe your invite code, maybe if I send you an invite code, it might be you might get a discount. So you might get a 20% discount or something like that, right? If you sign up for 3 months or something like that. Whatever that arrangement is. But the point is, we're gonna have a bunch of people hitting that landing page. So that's this landing page here. And you're gonna see a couple, some offer. There's not a lot of selling, okay, because this is real estate, so it needs to be sort of exclusive, curated, high end, and you'll be able to see just enough information to kind of see the deals that you might be interested in, just enough information. And then when you click on view details, right, it should take you over to the request access page. Right now I can't get there because I just moved the entire project, but it should take you to the request access page. When you do that, come on, where are we? You're going to fill out a form, right? This form here. That form is going to go into Cloudflare D1 database. D1, okay, in the users table. And that's going to have all the answers to all the questions. In the background, we're going to have a worker. Whenever you fill that form out, the minute you get to the last question, you're going to have to send a verification. It's going to take your information. It's going to send it over to that worker. The worker is going to send out a text message to your phone, a code, and it's going to send out an email. Okay? With a code. Okay? That code, you absolutely must input that code into the form. Here, right? So you got to put that code in the form, and only then you can move to the next step, which is to make the payment to Stripe. All right? This way we confirm your email, confirm your details, confirm that you're a valid person, right? And then if you do that, then only then you can actually pay. So we're really screening here because we don't want any and everybody signing up. We don't care about every and everybody. We care about exclusive deals, and so we care about only VIP coming through. Then you're gonna fill out, pay the subscription, and then that's going to now send another request to another worker. That worker will basically, in the background, create a authentication for you, TH, with auth0. And then it's going to send you an email with a username, password, and then it's going to prompt you to go change that password right away so you can log into the system because you've been paid, all right? So that's the part that we're building. So we're just moving into the section now where we're going to focus on these workers, and we're going to focus on this part of the equation, okay? So with that, let's see where we got. Okay, so creating a landing page hero, creating a landing page card, clicking the deal card, action, video, modal. So it's just basically chopping up all of the different HTML pieces and just kind of putting them together in Nuxt tree format. If you're using React, it would be a React page, right? But whichever technology, it doesn't matter, Svelte or whatever it is. It's just breaking it up into something that actually makes it more of a reusable component section. I kind of like this highlight of this advantage part, the unfair advantage in New York's real estate. So I don't know if this is the right thing, but whatever. We're going to get to that later on. So it should just say exclusive deals. New York City real estate, an invite-only community for the most sophisticated investors, curated off-market deals, unrivaled access. I don't know what that means. Unrivaled access. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out. A little bit of marketing thing that has to come on here. But yeah, this is going to be your landing page. Just going to be requests only. All right. We might do some variations in landing page so that could kind of drive traffic to this one here. But for the most part, it's just going to be, you got to fill out a fairly long, sophisticated form. Okay, moving forward. Hopefully this is going to be done pretty soon and we could go to the next step. So hopefully you guys are getting some value. If you are, put a message. No questions, but wanted to say hello. Hey man, Mr. Simon. Thank you. Good to see you around. I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a while. I'm happy you're here, man. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I just saw your message. So yeah, this is good. So anyway, so we're making some progress. We're getting there slowly. And I want to make sure see if we could get to we need to get to the other stage, okay? There's one other thing that I want to do here, which is I want to get to, so we can definitely get this part done, the database part, because after this whole Cloudflare, after this HTML2 thing configuration, we should be able to get this up and running. But I definitely want to at least get let's get you know what we should do? We should get the code part worked out. Okay. Because this we can do this with Twilio. There's a couple of ways we could do it. Twilio is probably the fastest way that we could do it. So we should probably do that to get the codes working and the authentication. Because if we can get that there, we can get to the, we could get the full thing working, the backend piece. So, okay, fair enough. Get in there. Let's see if we could, my drawing is getting messy. Oh, we need to get the matching investor. So we need to be able to keep track of that. So we got to do another database as well too. So hopefully this thing goes through pretty fast. It's kind of slow, but okay, so perfect. Let's see. Let me mark the to-do is completed. Fantastic. Okay, so what did it do? Created a authentication reverse invite component. Yeah, just breaking it up into components. We're going to make some changes there. That's fine. Yeah, so you know what? I might have to create another Stripe account. I might have to log into a different Stripe account. Let me just see. So we could get this payments part working correctly. So let's do this. Yeah, we're going to exit this profile. I need to log into my real account, but a test account. So a real Stripe account, but I need to log into use authenticator app. Stripe, where's my phone? Stripe. So we are, oh no, that's what I want to do. I want to get to authentication. 9, 1, 5, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we could switch to Sandbox, Violet Tunnel. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna use it. We're gonna use a different Stripe account. Oh, come on. All right. So next step, the prototype is now complete. Let's just see what we got here first. So the prototype is now complete. Proper routing, page structure, when ready for production. Okay, can you run this locally? Can you run this locally so we can test things properly? All pages functional with proper navigation between them, but authentication middleware is in place, but currently allows access as noted the to-do comment. Okay, so yeah, of course it's not running properly. Pre-transformer error, single page component cannot contain blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. So you're going to fix that. In the meantime, while you're doing that, we're going to, so I'm going to use a real sandbox. This account has better setup because it's actually part of my real account. And we're going to go do this, we're going to go do, you know what, it actually doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'll just edit this. I'm going to change this to, can I not change this? Edit price. You can only edit the description. It looks like the key. Lookup key because this price was used in a transaction. Okay, got it. Okay, tell you what. So let's just do a new one. So we're just gonna do new. Come on. Products. We're gonna do a new product, and we're just gonna say investors. Okay. Exclusive access, and we're gonna say recurrent US dollars 2000 1 2 3 monthly, cancel anytime, and we're gonna create a new one. Say sellers. We're gonna say sellers one time. Sell your fast. Okay, one off. It's gonna be $1,000. Add. There we go. Okay, so with that, we can go to the sellers one time, and now we should be able to. You know, I'm missing something here. They've changed something on me and I'm losing my mind because I can't seem to find where to see the preview link for the products. I'm going to make crazy here. Click on this. Copy to live mode, copy the link. Copy your live account is only possible for sandbox that model your live account. No, I just want to see. I'm going crazy here. I need to get the link. Oh my goodness, really? This is where I'm gonna get hung up on. I need to get to the Stripe page. Payment. Is it this one? Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. That's what I'm going crazy. That's why I was. That's why it wasn't working. So I created a product, but I forgot to create a payment link. Ugh, of course. Right. So you have to do this seller one time. Now we have it. Right. So product or sandbox. Choose how you want to pay. Yeah. No, we're just going to use this here, and then add another product. No. Collect taxes. Collect name, customer name. No, we're not collecting any of this stuff because it's going to be coming from the query string. So we're going to collect the customer name. Require customer to provide a phone number. So we're gonna take their customer name. We're going to take their collected customer. We're going to take require them to put in a phone number. We don't need that because we're already validating it from that side. We're just going to take their name. We're just going to take their name and obviously the email address. And for custom fields, do we need any single thing there? Add a custom field, text. The custom field might be the user ID. User ID, And we're going to set this a number because we're going to pass that over to Stripe. So at least when Stripe thinks it could bring it back over to us. Save the payment details for future use case. Sure. And so pay, book, donate, a call to action. Okay. So we're going to create the link. There we go. Now we're going to go here. We're going to paste that link here. So this is the payment page link. Right. Perfect. Okay. That's what we need. Okay. So did it work? Let's see. Okay. So this is, come on. There we go. So this is the deals page here. Let's see if we remove this, what happens here. This is the home page. Fantastic. Now this is a little bit thing, but that's fine. We could deal with that. Oh, where's the really? It didn't bring across the icons. Oh, annoying. And what did it do here? Something completely different. Request access. Okay, so this is still correct. Yeah, it changed a bunch of stuff here. Huh? Annoying. Click on yes. It didn't bring everything over. Oh my goodness. It didn't bring over all of my HTML. The formatting is completely off. It looks different. It's fine. We're just going to keep running with it until I get it right. So, okay, let's do this. So we're going to say, yeah, let's go back to Gemini. Can you review the HTML pages for the request access form and also the landing page and make sure that the HTML elements, for example, the icons on the landing page, make sure that they're on the new page, in the Nuxt page component, and also make sure that all of the form questions are also there. Right now there's some missing stuff there's some disparity between the HTML and what we have in our Nuxt component. So review all the pages and then ensure that our application starting from the index page is correct. Install the missing components. Annoying. I didn't want to have to deal with this because it's just besides the point. So anyway, so the Stripe, we have Stripe with one page here, and then we're going to do another payment link. I don't know why I keep forgetting that we're supposed to do a payment link. And this is for the buyers, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to correct their name, and we're going to do a custom field, and we're going to do a number, and we're just going to say user underscore ID so that we could take that in. It's going to be a subscription call to action. And then that's it. After payment, what are we going to do? Continue to confirmation page. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna change some of this with the URL. So add URL parameters. So email at the end of your parameter link to pre-fill the form. So email. So what we can do is just do email at email.com, and then we're gonna do, what is the other one? Pre-fill email. Yeah, we don't need anything else really. What about name? We can't do name? Interesting. Okay, so that's fine. So we're gonna pre-fill email, we're gonna pre-fill name. Let me see if I could speed this up by just doing a new local thing. And we're gonna say, let's go with Claude for a second, Sonnet. Am I gonna mess things up if I do this? Let's say for the payment link, this will be the payment link for the buyer. If you can pass any additional information that's required over to for the customer, please do it. For example, like first name, last name, etc. And this is the payment link for the seller. .com. Coffee. Okay, so this is the payment link for the seller. Right. So yeah, let's do that. I think I should be okay if I do this. I might be stepping on each other's toes, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Boo boo boo. So assuming that goes through okay, we should be able to at least get to this page, right? And what we want to do now is basically we just want to ensure that we have some way, right? Stripe webhook so that we could kind of on the back end hook into the event because that's important, right? By the way, just as a heads up, if you do something like Polar.sh, they just handle all this stuff for you guys. Okay, just as an example, like I just want to give people that this is the only way to do this. I tend to want to build this stuff out myself, and in fact, I'm working on trying to standardize this because it's such a repeated task over and over, and I keep forgetting the details every time. Anyway, but if you really want to just simplify the whole dance between your application and Stripe, and then from Stripe back into your application, Polar SH is a pretty good option. In fact, they're fairly new on the market, but they solve a real problem. They do have a little bit higher transaction fees, 4% versus 2.9, and a 40 cents versus 30 cents. Right? So there's that. It's a little bit of trade-off, but at the end of the day, what you really care about here is speed to market, and they address the problems that exist with Stripe, which is there's just too much setup. There's a back and forth. Stripe is good. Stripe took the industry significantly further than where we were, with PayPal and in Canada, Moneris, in the US. What was the big one back then? Auth.net. There was also Beam something. There's a few of them. Anyway, none of them matter anymore because of Stripe. And all the other vendors are just trying to play catch up to what Stripe is doing. But with great power comes great responsibility. So there's some things that Stripe just doesn't do well. And as a result, companies like Polar.sh is trying to fill that map. The other alternative to them is Lemon Squeezy, Lemon Squeezy. These guys. How did I get that right? Close it. These guys. They handle everything, including tax and lots of other stuff in the background. Lots of other stuff. So it is recommended that if you really, really want to do this right, deal with all the tax issues and stuff like that you kind of do this. But for the most part, I like to just build out my stuff and just make sure that we kind of have a handle on things. We do have to set up a webhook for the payment link, but I'm going to get to that in a bit. I just want to get the payment link kind of working first, and then the buy button, right? So, yeah. I want to get that going. So, where are we? Is this thing finished? Still going. Oh my goodness. The waiting of having to deal with all of the AIs, we've gotten spoiled, right? Because I couldn't write all of this code myself. But now that I have the capabilities of AI, I needed to move faster. Humans, we're never happy. It's just the reality of our lives. We're just never happy. So yeah, okay. Let's see. We're almost there. Subscription page, sell, subscription buy. So we're gonna see if this actually works. Request live, all set. The Stripe integration is now complete and ready for testing. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Come on. Let's see if we could go a little faster here. Okay, is it finish? No, this is not what I want. Okay, let me see if we could get it running, and then we could hopefully... Almost there. Like I said, I've said this multiple times. I'm going to say it again. Best chocolate ever. I don't care who disagrees with me. So an opinionated view about one of the perks of going to America is how I would describe it. Such a great chocolate bar. I don't know. The funny thing is, I don't know a single other person that likes this chocolate bar. Like, I literally do not know any other person on earth that loves this chocolate bar. Not my wife, not my cousins, not my brothers, nobody. Except for me. So, there you have it. Okay. Where are we here? Come on, man. Finish up. Let's go. We got stuff to do. So let's see. Let's go back to our mirror. See how far we could get, because running out of time. I want to push on this because I actually want to launch this thing. Just to be clear, I want to launch this thing next week. And I'm going to be doing some videos specifically about launching things when they're not done. I kind of did one before, but it wasn't really like a proper thing. This is my module. No. Real estate. Yeah, no, I kind of did a video about launching, and I want to make sure I put my money where my mouth is, which is to launch even like when you're not done. So my goal is to launch this thing next week. I literally had a meeting about this particular project earlier today. Decided that we're gonna work on this. We're gonna set it up, and we're just gonna launch it. We're hyper focused on New York real estate, but for any of you guys out there, I mean, by all means, take the idea, build something with it, join the live community, and let me know what you're building. I'm more than happy to get you sort of set up with the structure, the code. A lot of these things, I'm trying to open source them. A lot of them, I just haven't done the work yet to do that. But the dance between your website and Auth0, and then from Auth0 to Stripe, I literally want to make it where you just put in your Stripe ID, put in your Auth0 like key, and deploy this code, and it just works. Like, that's what I'm trying to get it to. It's not there yet because, you know, first of all, I set it up with AI, so it's not as smooth. But what I've been doing is trying to do multiple projects to kind of find the commonalities of where the things that I keep repeating over and over. So I could put it in a really structured document, and I could just give you just a guidance, like do this, do this, do this. You know, copy this key, put this key, do that 1, 2, 3 step, and then you have the whole thing set up. So that's my aim, and that's what I'm working towards. We're just not there yet, but that's my commitment. So, okay, do we have something that we could work with? Man, that's so slow. So slow. This is Gemini. It should be doing okay, but I guess it's just taking. I don't want to run it as yet. Let me wait a little bit more and see how it pans out. Okay, in the meantime, actually, you know what we can do in the meantime? We can work on the back end. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have a, should I do the matching or should I do the user, we should do the user sign up. We should make sure that the data is actually going into the form. So what we can do is we can create a interface that will accept the data. So instead of having to wait on this UI stuff, which is driving me nuts because it's just slow. And we have to do that in a separate project because it can't be in this project here. Because again, I always separate front end from back end, always, okay? So what should we do here? Let me just see how my project is set up structure-wise. And this is just me with a mono repo here. So what I should do is we're just gonna call it Investor Portal Backend. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna call it Investor Portal Backend. Yeah, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into here, code, and we're going to now take the PRD from the previous project, because I'm sort of keeping them separate right now. Yeah, I'm trying to keep them separate right now. So we're going to take the PRD from the HTML from here, copy, and we're going to go into the backend project. I'm going to paste that in here. And then we're going to say, can you create me a Cloudflare workers project, set up the details, and we're going to be connecting to a D1 database to implement the backend functionality to accept a new user and then add that to the user's database. And then we'll need some APIs to update specific information in the user database. For example, to update the subscription from active to inactive, to update whether they're a buyer or a seller, etc., etc. Here is all of the details for the project is in the docs folder. And here is the user's database schema. So we're going to take that. I need to give it the schema, which I had where did we have the schema? I lost it. I lost it. I had it. Hang on a sec. So this guy, query, here, and the database is called NYC. So now I got to be very careful here because I got too many of these applications running, then it becomes problematic. So this is the back end. I forgot, I have a tool that basically allows me to change the color of this here, but I don't remember how to use it. So here's the schema, and then the name of the database, the name of the Cloudflare D1 is NYC properties. All right, so let this cook. Let's just kind of get all of the backend stuff sorted out. This one is going to kind of go and get the user set up, get all that stuff, and then try to connect to the backend so we could test the API properly. And then we're going to just make sure that thing. And again, all this will be, there's no security until we add security. So, okay, finally, can you run this so we could ensure that everything works? Let me go down to Sonnet 4. It's just easier and faster. The other thing about Sonnet is that I noticed that it doesn't honor, I'm using bun right now, and it doesn't use bun. It just uses npm run dev, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. So npm run dev. Okay, it found some issues, so it needs to fix that first of all. Yeah, got some issues here. Okay, so Sonnet 4 should be a little bit faster. We're trying to get these issues sorted out. And we're calling Investors Portal Backend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change this name, but anyway, we'll run with that for now. So we got our schema. Fantastic. We got our Wrangler source, schema.ts, create validation with SOD, services, user. So create user, insert into, get user by ID, email, get user by ID, tenant. Yeah, I'm gonna get this all this stuff standardized. We just keep repeating the same thing over and over. We're gonna standardize on this entire thing. So, okay, let's see how the UI is going. There are more serious issues. Great. Okay. Found the issue. There's a broken script in the section of corrupted. I see the issue clearly now. Blah, blah. Yeah, 4 is pretty good. It's a little bit faster. Let's see how it goes. If it starts to fail, I'm gonna... Okay. No. Almost there. And I should tell it to use button, but it is what it is. There's still an issue missing end checkout request. Found the issue. All right, so where are we with the patch? Okay, so we got API create new user. We got get all users. That's fine. Get user by ID, email address, update user, install Wrangler, create. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. The database is already created, so we don't need that. We're going to do a deploy. So we're going to say the database is already created, so you're going to use the existing database. And for the deployment, you're going to put the word client dash in front of the name of the project. So it'll be client dash investor portal dash backend. And also we need some tests so that we could create some fake API submissions to test that the data is going into the database correctly. All right. Perfect. So let's go look at this, make sure that this guy is working. Refresh. There we go. Request. Oh, still did not fix this. Oh my goodness. Still didn't fix my icons. Annoying. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now because I don't want to waste time on that. Yeah, it's missing the thing file, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. Okay, so auth.request invite is not working. I don't know why it's going to auth. It shouldn't go to auth. It should just go to... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on new, and then let's just go down to, let's go to 4.5. So the request invite page is now working, and also there still seems to be some problems with some of the pages and the tags. So run the code and run the application and test it, make sure it's working correctly. Go to 4.5. 4.5 I think will honor the bun. I think they better because they just bought, Anthropic just bought bun. Don't know if you guys heard about that. All right, almost there, almost there. We're in the weeds. See where we're at. So yeah, we're gonna try to push this database project up. Just get that going. At least we'll be able to do a sign up. That's the main mission. If we can do sign up, then the other pieces we're gonna try to table it. But I'm gonna end up working on this maybe throughout the week and do a couple of videos just specifically on the authentication and the backend part, which is something I've been meaning to do. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So by next week, this is actually like in launch territory. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Updated. This is going okay. So test is going to be your API dev. Can you run the migration and deploy it into Cloudflare so that we could test, make sure everything is okay? And then create some HTTP test files. Did it already do that? Create some HTTP test files so that we can post directly to Cloudflare project. Come on. All right, where are we at here? Ba, ba, ba. Come on. Let me rewrite the entire file cleanly. AI. Okay. So, in the meantime, a couple of things I want to talk about very quickly, just to wrap things up here. So, on this project, all of this information that's in here right now came from computer. Stop. Came from another project. Came from, I'll tell you where. What's the name of the project again? It was in my mind. It's called, oh, the scraper. Right. Yeah, it came from the scraping project here. It came from monorepo AI project. Scraper folder. Oops, cancel. So I have it in this one, new. Here. No, sorry. Wait, this is not the right project. Oh, I'm going crazy. I got too many projects going on. Where did I put that now? New York real estate scraper. I thought it was in here. Deal finder, this one. Oh my goodness, really? Where did I put it? Might be in SnapSuite monorepo. I see. I have it in a slightly different folder. That's why I need to move it over here. And I'm going to call it property scraper. There we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, it is in extractor, this one here. Where did I put URL discovery? There we go. This one is what I'm looking for. So this project is called Property Scraper. I already have it running. In fact, let me just pull it up. I'll show you what it is. Property Scraper, yeah. Pardon. So here, so this project actually does a couple things. It has the capability. I did this with Cloudflare and I did this with thing. I'm going to do some videos on this because it's a whole thing by itself that I don't want to get into in this conversation. I'm just basically just sharing it as I kind of go through the details. However, no, I don't want to do that. Let's just do. What it basically does, it just goes through it just scrapes the information from these properties. And if you can look here, you'll see it's kind of crazy how much information is just public. It has all the land value, the history of the sale. It has tons of information. It's all public information, according to America. And there's even even the PDF, the tax history. You see, there's all these deeds, these PDF maps. It's kind of crazy. It's all this stuff, but this information this website is really hard to navigate. And I actually tried to reverse engineer the APIs to scrape it from the API level. However, it was way too complex, because what was end up happening, it was sending down just very small parts of details for the project, and so it ended up being, I think, let's see here, there's like 398 requests just for this one sort of page. It was just too much to kind of reverse engineer. So I tried that. It didn't really work. So what I ended up doing was using a Cloudflare browser API and rendering engine, and basically just using that to just pull the entire page into a rendering engine and then just scrape the information on top of it. So that's what I did. And it actually worked out really well. So that I have a crawler now that I built that basically so it's not running, but basically the goal is that it's just going to go into, it's just going to find every single property and just kind of scrape the whole thing and slowly kind of build it up. And then it has this whole analyzer thing where I could put in a property, for example, and it will go out, like actively is doing that right now. It literally goes out to the internet. It just goes to that website, pulls the information, pulls it into this format here. And then I could use that to then take this information and put it into another system, into this system that we're building right now, which is going to be this one here. So that's where, just to give you some background context, where this information is kind of coming from. There's a whole backend thing that I'm working on to pull data from multiple different sources. And that's what I mentioned in this here. Emails, data is coming from email thing and then scraping API. And they're all going to be kind of dumped in the platform. So there's that. All right, is this thing gonna work now? It still didn't, my goodness, like it still didn't pull in all the details. Let me see, how did you hear about us? Let me just fill this out pretty fast and see. Submit. Yeah. So yeah, when I click on the I gotta tell it for every single page what to do. It's annoying. Which property is this? This is investor portal. Yeah, I'm on the right one. And then this is, which one am I? This is the user. So this is the right one. So when I click on the request invite portal submit button, it does not take me to the subscription page where I could see the price and stuff. It should do that. So you need to follow the HTML, the details in the HTML. The page should be called subscription cell. That would have the details, and subscription. They have those two pages have the details that when you click on request invite, it should take you over to those pages. Also, on the request invite page for the HTML, there's a section at the bottom that when you should be able to, you have to click on send invite to get an invitation, a confirmation code for both your mobile number and your email address. Those have to be enabled on this form as well too. So see the details on the HTML in order to get the right thing. Also, the boxes, the form boxes are way too small. They don't look any single thing like what is on the HTML. Yeah, this is a problem because we have conflict in HTML inside of there. And let me just give it all of the reference to the pages so it doesn't have to think about what to do. All the files that are open, sorry. exclude. So click on that, and then all files, open editor. Everything that's in the editor is open. There we go. So yeah, but if you can, like, the thing about this market is if you can just aggregate by scraping the data from all of these websites and anything. The only problem right now, excuse me, is that Cloudflare does have some limitation on the browser API, which I haven't hit as yet, but I'm pretty certain I'm going to hit it pretty soon based on the scale at which I'm trying to scrape this information. So see here, you could only run like 30 concurrent accounts and a new browser instance per minute. So 30 per minute. So new browser instance per minute. So you could only spin up about 30 browsers per minute. So there is some limitations here. Now it's not, I mean, you could set this thing to kind of scrape X amount per day to kind of stay within that limit. But if you need higher limits, you're going to have to pay for it or request access. But I haven't necessarily hit the limits as yet, but that's because I've just been testing. But I'm pretty certain we're going to hit the limit just based on the scale at which we're trying to pull data from these different investor properties. But yeah, this was a good exercise because this took me a while to kind of figure out how to get this going. See, it's now consistently pulling data. I could pull data from that website from any source. But the back end, this thing, I'm going to do a video specifically on this here later on. All right, let's see. Come on. Now I have all the created confirmations, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. It has all the pieces. Fix the request page. Click the checkbox. Here's the subscription page. Create subscription cell. All right, so can we click on it now? It's still working. Half your time is just spent waiting on AI to finish its job. Hopefully we could get some faster speed because this is the thing, right? It's like, okay, I'm here for 2.5, 3 hours, let's call it. And, you know, I'm able to make significant gains, but I'm not able to truly build something end to end. You know what I mean? Like I can't go as fast as, so it's kind of interesting because there's kind of a weird thing that's happening because before, in the past, you know, when I started doing all this stuff, I used to just go to ChatGPT and just copy and paste code. And that was pretty fast. But then we evolved to where the editors, the AIs are built into the editors. And now I don't go to ChatGPT and copy paste code unless it's a very, very specific thing that I need. And even to that, I could get the AI to do it. So that workflow is now gone. And the AI has gotten significantly better at just working through tons and tons of files. However, we're now hitting, and then there was a problem that I kind of started hitting, which was the AI was generating too many files and I was unable to keep track of the different pages and the speed at which it was generating code. That being said though, what I find now is that my brain has gotten to a point where I've gotten significantly more capable of keeping up with the AI and the generation. In fact, now I'm finding that it's way too slow because I can't move as fast as I want to be. So I kind of find that interesting, just that evolution of how things are going. Hey man, how are you doing? It's good to see you. You've been MIA for a while, but I'm doing great. I'm hopefully you're doing good as well too. And he said when I had to wait and pull in my Christmas tree. When I wait, I have to be putting up my Christmas tree. That's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, you know, you end up just having to find things to do as a result of, you know, just having to wait for the AI to get their stuff together. So hopefully we could get this kind of dialed in, right? I mean, the real question is, do we need more speed? I don't know, but the reality is human beings are never satisfied. I'm definitely not. I'm like, listen, we got to figure out how to move these things faster because, you know, we need more speed. Let's kill more trees, right? So yeah, I'm with you all the way. You know, hey, are you in my community, Mr. Codename Zulu? Are you in? I don't know if you're in my community. Did you join the Vibe Coding community? And if you haven't joined it, can you join and let's do a call because I want to know your project, like what you're working on. I've talked to other people, but I haven't spoken to you. You're probably one of the yeah. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. But I want to know the details of your project. So okay, no hesitation. Okay, there's no hesitation. Click on the link, join it. It's free. Okay, there's nothing to do. It's just literally just join. But no, seriously, I do want to genuinely learn a little bit about your project and what you're actually working on. So yeah, let's just jump on a call and just chat because it helps me to figure out what type of content to put together for you guys. Okay, so I appreciate you joining though, and I appreciate you just checking in, just saying hi. Like that means the world to me. I'll be honest with you guys. Last week I wasn't here because of Thanksgiving. The week before that, there was not a single person on the call, and it was 3.5 hours that I stayed on live for. And I gotta be honest, man, that was hard. I was like, wow, it really, really makes a difference when people show up. Like, just even if it's just to say hi for 2 minutes. Like it's like all the difference in terms of like my personality and character just completely changes. So I was like, oh man, this is hard. Like this is hard. But yeah, no, I appreciate you just saying hi, even if it's just while you're waiting for your Christmas tree the decorations to go up and for the AI to do work for you. So that's funny. Okay, are we getting this thing done? Let's see where we're at. So let's see here. So okay, so requests. Okay, so we got our form. It looks a little bit better. Yep, fantastic. Okay, so it did pull the information, and that's because I told it to do it. Now, I don't necessarily like the fact that the form you can't see the color and stuff, but that's irrelevant to this thing. We're gonna fix that later on. And yeah, see, it took away all of my color scheme, all of every single thing. It just went away. Okay, so we're gonna do a send request. Okay, then you're gonna put in the code, and no, oh my goodness. When I put in the code, when I do send verification code, I put in the code for the email and for the SMS. We need to enable the submit button so that we can go to the next page so that we can then pay the price. Okay. So join. Almost there, guys. We're almost there. Getting somewhere. It's the little nuanced details that you got to kind of stitch together, right? Like this is where, like an hour ago we had all of this working, but in pure HTML, and just taking that and translating it to Nuxt or React or whatever, right, takes time. And the AI is not perfect, so you got to kind of fight with it a little bit. And that's where we're at right now, right? Like, which is annoying because it's like I want to move faster. I want to get to the payments. I want to work through the payment part. Sadly, I'm not going to get to that today because it just takes a little bit more time. But I will complete this by doing a video specifically on it, on that back end part specifically, and then I'll be able to kind of dial in the video a little bit more so that anybody that's doing that part can think. I think we've kind of exhausted this front end part. I still do it because I want to make sure that newer people that are coming to the channel, they can kind of watch it and kind of understand the flow. But what I really want to do is spend more time on the back end, and that's been kind of a challenge to kind of like balance the two. And again, it's just in the interest because of time, right? So okay, fair enough. And can you put like a proper border around the text box? The color scheme is gold, so maybe we can make it in a goldish kind of color or something just to make it pop a little bit. Don't go too crazy, just follow the design from the previous HTML. Okay, so if I fill this in with all these details, click on no, click on sell, or click on buy, click on multifamily, click on risk, blah, click on this. And then we're going to put our no, just refresh the form because I'm putting the border in. Okay, whatever. It still didn't do it properly, but okay, that's fine. So yeah, so we click on that, click on buy, click on multifamily, some random detail, click on send, put in the code, click on submit. Bam! Nice, thank you. All right. Unlock exclusive access, off-market deals, deep financials, direct your deal submission. Click on activate membership. I don't know if I like that word, but that's okay. And then this will take me over to Stripe. There we go. Perfect, right? I want to send your name, right? So I want to put the full name. I want the full name to show up inside of here. And the user ID. Oh, I see. You know what? Yeah, this is supposed to be a hidden field. We don't need this here coming through like this. It's supposed to be a hidden field. So actually, I want to do that. Let me just do that. So let me just do that. We're going to do that. Get that going. Poo, poo, poo. Ba, ba, ba. All right. Hey, Mr. I just thought of something. By the way, you said you will. If you don't show up, I will find you. I know you're in Texas. I'm just kidding, man. But do sign up for sure. I definitely want to have a more detailed conversation with you outside of the one-way conversation here. What was I doing here? So, okay, yes. Oh, so the Stripe form is working. However, I want to be able to pass dynamically the full name into the form, and I want to be able to pass the user ID so that whenever they sign up, we have that custom field. However, I don't want to show the user ID field, so we might have to make some changes there. So, okay, so let's do that, and paste. That's so funny. Okay, so paste. Listen, I appreciate every one of you that show up every single time and whenever you can. I know life is busy. The holidays is going to be crazy. And by the way, I plan to do these calls throughout the holidays. There might be a couple of exceptions, but I plan to just go throughout. I'm winding down on my personal side. I'm actually winding down. So I'm not doing any of my business calls with employees and stuff like that, like staff. We're not going to do any of that anymore. So that's going to be gone. I normally do a family call with my internal family on a regular basis, not like internal family, but like cousins and uncles, people like that I help out with business. Not going to be doing that anymore for next month. So for the month of December going into January, the only thing I'm going to be focusing on is this vibe coding community, which is this call. And I'm just going to be hardcore programming. Like normally on the holidays, I use it as an opportunity to just go crazy with code. Now that I have a kid, and now my wife is really into Christmas. So we're going to be doing a couple of Christmas things. But outside of that, I'm like really dialed in on just programming more than any single thing else. So lots of stuff coming. I got a whole bunch of things that I've been planning. Where's the link at? The link is at the top, man. Jeez, bread. So funny. Right up top, it says join the vibe coding community. In fact, you know what? How about I just give you the link? Dwayne.me https. That's too funny. Dwayne.me/SKOOL. There. Okay, now there's no excuse because I'm dropping it in the chat. There's the link. Okay, there you go. It's at the top there, man. It's at the top. But yeah, no, join. It'll be good because I actually got. Let me do some promotion right now on the school community. The school community, by the way, we had our first win, which I'm very proud of. And I will say, Simon has held me accountable because he showed up. I was really down last week. I really, really was. My mental energy was just not there. And he messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, what's going on? Like, just I noticed that you haven't posted in a bit. Just wanted to make sure everything was okay." That meant the world to me. It really, really did. Like, it legit meant the world to me, and I really appreciated it because one of the reasons why I'm building this community is so that people can just kind of connect with each other and share not just like build it, but share your struggles, share your challenges, right? This is an entrepreneur group first. I want to be clear with that. It's about making money, it's about making profit. But the truth is that entrepreneur is a real struggle. And one of the things that I struggle with a lot, like over the last 10, 15 years, was I just didn't have anybody to talk to about a lot of this stuff, right? I've worked through a lot of these things on my own, but where I could give a helping hand to another entrepreneur that might hit a wall, have a challenge, or just need like somebody to just like talk to about and like just what's on their mind, right? Because the truth is, um, entrepreneurs, it's just a lonely road, like like I'm married, I got a kid, but I don't talk to my wife about entrepreneur specific things. I might tell her what I'm doing with business, and it's very high level, but it's not like real in depth. And the truth is that only entrepreneurs to other entrepreneurs really understand sort of the challenge, right? So that's what this was about. That's what this community about. So yeah, do join. I got a couple of people that I want to go through and kind of approve. So you'll kind of sit in there for a bit, but I'm going to get you approved for sure. And then we had our first win. I'm really happy about this. Sammy from the group posted that he launched his first, he's launched his product, and he's looking for its invite only product, and it's just kind of cool because, here's a guy. I had a call with him. He had some ideas of what he wanted to do, and he just went about and just kept hacking away. And I'm sure I contributed in some way. I can't take credit for his success by all means, but I'm sure he learned something, and I'm sure he learned some things from other places. And now I'm going to try to get him on a call so that he could just kind of share a little more details about the project, but also talk about like what did he learn, like in the time that we've been kind of working together in some capacity. Obviously, I'm not working with him directly, but yeah, I think that was just kind of cool. I was really happy about the fact that we got a little bit of win there. So yeah, by all means, join the community, and think I'm watching it on TV. Didn't see it on here. Okay, cool. No worries. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe it might be some screen resolution thingy. So yeah. Okay. So where was I? Stripe. This here, client ID, how to access the user ID in Stripe, client reference, parse, schema, no visible user ID. Okay, so she did all that stuff. Okay, so that's good. So we at least, you know what? This is a win because, okay, so let's run the project and test it. Let's run the project and test it properly. All right, perfect. I successfully updated the board description page. Here's what I implemented. Dynamic first name, last name into a single field. Pass Stripe pre-filled customer name. And then user generated, buyer's guide session, user deal flow, generated ID. Yeah, okay, so this is good. So I'm gonna see if I could spend maybe less than 5 minutes, and then I'm just gonna try to see if I can get the I'm just gonna try to see if I can get the submission working. If I could get this into the database, that would be fantastic. So submit here, click on no, click on sell, send verification, email code, mobile SMS code. Really? You broke it again. Oh my goodness. Or did I miss something? No, of course. Something broke. Oh, okay. Okay, I was just looking for a longer number. Okay, so click and submit. Perfect, that's working. So $1,000 versus $2,000 to list your property. Pay with Stripe, and it doesn't have the pre-filled. Yes, see the button in the blue bar. Oh, that's interesting. That's good to know. Just see the button in the blue bar on my TV and didn't see the words. Huh. Yeah, it's good to know. I'm gonna definitely check on that for sure. Weird. So, yeah, okay. So this is working. What I want to do is just see if we can actually get the submission. I got half an hour here. I'm gonna try to see if we could push and get the. Let's see if we could get this part here allow. And so the test failed. So let's see. Did it put in users? Is that what it did? Let me see. Let's go to Cloudflare. Deal flow. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Cloudflare. I swear, every single time I have to find Cloud. Okay, here we go. So I think let me just see. First of all, let me refresh this. Did it add anything else? No, it didn't. And explore table. Okay, let me see if it added another. Oh, okay. Got you. It's you. It's my TV when I use YouTube, but it happens sometimes. Interesting. Okay, good to know though. Good to know. At least I'm going to try to account for that in the future in some way. So users. Okay, so why is let me just see. Okay, first of all, let me just see what's going on. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I could get this schema remotely published. But the truth is, I actually don't need the schema.
It's almost time to pick up your child.
Got it, lady. I'm going to go get my kid soon. Allow. So user table already exists, SQLite. Okay, so that's great. User table already exists. Going to deploy the Wrangler now. Let's see. And yeah, so if we can get the Wrangler deployed and we could just do a basic submission API test, then that would be fantastic. Let's see if we could get that going. If not, if we could get that going, everything. Basically, all we want to do is just get this form submitted. So we just want to make sure that we could close all this property stuff now. We don't need all of this. And this is fine. So basically what will end up happening is, just to make sure that we're on the same page here, all of this front end stuff is considered done. We're just really, what's going on with the eraser here? We're just going to be working on the back end in the next couple of days because I've gotten all of this. So if I could get the form submission going, right, then that means that we're going from UX design to database, and then we're only basically focused on just the authentication piece because Stripe is technically done already. It's just the authentication piece and obviously the webhook, right? So that's basically what we're going to try to get done. So we'll see if we could at least get the data in. If not, we're gonna close it off. But I want to see if we could push a little bit here. All right, come on, almost there. Okay, so users, first name, last name, test, create backend, perfect, created a summary document. Okay, so that looked like it works. So let's go check the database. Refresh. There we go. Bam, we got a user. Fantastic. Okay, so now what we can do is we can get, this is fantastic. So we just got to get documentation. There we go. So deployment and this. Can you create the instructions for my front end so that I could call the API to submit all of the details to the backend so I could test it properly? Okay, so we're just going to basically now take all of the instructions, which is just basically just an instruction that I can now drop into the front end so I could submit to the backend and get a submission. And we probably got to account for cores because that's going to be a problem. Well, we'll deal with that in a sec. So almost there. That's good. We actually got data in the database. So that's great. That's fantastic news. We don't have to go too crazy now. property types. Yeah, that's fantastic news. So, come on, almost there, almost there. And like I said, I'm going to make sure that I get... So there's only one thing while I wait on that information to kind of work on. And I'm being real with this. I actually like, okay, let me just refresh this here. I made a... Yeah. So, so the only thing that we're left to do now is see where it says, is it workflows? I keep forgetting every single time where they put the change, where you put the webhook. This is why I got to document this thing. I think it's on the developers. Yeah, there we go. Webhooks. Yeah, right. So what we want to do is we want to add a new destination, and we want to put a webhook that's going to basically route back to that new API worker that we just created after payment gets succeeded. But before I do that, I'm just going to just front-end integration. So here, this is the... Does it have the API? Yes, it does. Yes. Okay. Right. So now I could copy this front-end integration, and I could go to my front end, and I could click a new, and I could tell it, hey, for this form, oops, close all of this. When the user submits the form, can you post it to this API and also document the process? Document the implementation, but okay, it knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we're gonna get it to implement the entire thing from API. I might have pasted too much. Okay, yes, React hook. Okay, it's giving me a React hook API, which I don't need. It's fine. Okay, doesn't matter. It's just sending the whole thing. It'll know what to do with the details. Because again, I'll implement the form submission to the API, document the process. First, let me examine the... sorry, not the request form. Let's stop that. It's not the request form we need. It's pages, auth, request invite. Can you implement it for the request invite, not the HTML form? This was in the Nuxt version. So pages, auth, request invite. Yeah, doing it for the wrong thing. Yeah, so assuming that that works, then yeah, that's going to get us pretty much a sign up request system, which is fantastic. And then the other thing I'll just mention quickly while we're kind of waiting on all this stuff to load is we also want to make this a sort of an invite only type of thing, right? So what we can do is you can have, let me draw it out quickly. This is my last thing I'll draw before we close. So we can do this. We can have a user database. So let's say this is our user database, USER. So this is our user database. And what we can do is we can make a very basic form. So let's say we had a conversation with somebody. We could have a form that basically gets their name and email address, right? And a submit button. And whenever they submit it, it's just going to just take that information and just dump it into the form as a very basic details. And it's going to generate a code and put it in the form, right? And then we could have a email because if they submit that form, it could send out an email to the user. The user will basically now click on a link, right? That link will then go check the database for that specific code. And then if the code is valid within whatever time frame, then it'll allow them to fill out the additional details. And then obviously it'll do the payment, right? And then it'll do the entire flow, which is payment and then authentication. So then it'll, like I said, send an email back to the user with their login details with a one-time password, so they could then log into the system. So that's the other part that we're going to do. We're not going to do it in this call here, but I just want to mention that now that we have our user database set up, getting the other invite section implemented, not a big deal, pretty fast. So let's see if we could get this going. Let's see if we could run this. Can you run the app? Okay, let's see if we could get it going. I'm sure I'm going to get a CORS error, but even if I get a CORS error, that's totally fine. I just want to give it a proper go. And all right, so now we have our unfair advantage. You will say real estate. We got a bunch of properties. We're going to click on request access, and we're going to fill out all these details by clicking on our autofill here. So we got all the details required. I'm going to click on an investor. I'm going to looking for buy. I'm looking for multifamily. I'm looking for office, institutional, hospital. Put some more details on what I'm looking for. I'm going to click on send invitation. So that's going to send the code. We're going to hook this up with Twilio. And then we're going to put our mobile code. Came from both those two. Then we're going to click on submit. Bam, that's going to take us here. And now we're going to click on activate membership. That's going to take us over to Stripe. And that's it. We're done. So the hope is, that happened a little bit too fast, but what I'm hoping is that I actually have data in my database. Let's pray and hope. Pray to the AI gods. There we go. Bam! Look at that. Success. So we got data. All the information is in here. Multifamily, the whole 9 yards. Look at that. Fantastic. That's a perfect place to leave, to drop off. Because now we got data inside of here. So that means that there's only two pieces that has to happen. Number one is on the Stripe side, right? We're going to create a webhook. I'm just going to mention it, but we won't do it. On the Stripe side, we're going to create a webhook that basically routes back to the form to ensure that it updates the form whenever the API is things. So basically what we're going to do is go here and we're going to create a new destination, and we're going to basically say we don't want to go to all. We don't want all of them. The only thing that we care about is whenever the account is what are the ones that we're looking for? It's when the account is created, and I think it's when we don't want V2. We just want charge. I think that's what we're looking for. Yes. So when we actually did a charge, right? We should probably just take all of these. Any single thing on the charge level, right? Charge expired, charge failed, charge completed, charge refund, charge succeeded. Any single thing here is what we're looking for. So we care about the charges, and that's probably about it. We might care about a few other details, and then we're going to do a webhook endpoint, and we're going to call it. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically say, where's the webhook URL? So we're going to be posting to this URL here, and what we're going to do is, here in Stripe. So we're going to take in a web request. Sorry, not endpoint name. In here, we're going to take in that web request name, and this is going to be your we call it your investor portal, PORTAL backend notification. Let's call it backend. That's fine. API, right? And this will basically send all of the requests for capturing the webhooks, and so we could use that to get the notification on how to think. Now we should be able to use. We should use a secret to verify that the data is coming from Stripe, but we're not going to get into that right now. The point is the API will be posted to this URL here. So let's see, events, right? So payments created, what would be it would be payments succeeded or charge succeeded, right? So this one here. So yeah, so we would just implement this on the back end. I'm not going to do it right now in this particular call, but the point is that would just basically go in to update. What are we updating? It would update the field in our database that says Stripe customer ID, and it would basically is active subscription. Is active subscriber. So we're going to change that to 1. Therefore, we know that we can give access to the user. So I'll just drop it in here, but I won't actually think we're going to leave it off as this here. But let me just see here. So front end implementation. This is the back end. Yeah, the back end is the right one. Yes. So can you implement an API that will take the webhook from Stripe, and whenever the payment is succeeded, you will update the Stripe customer ID and the subscription details in the database using these details. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. That's an actual wrap, because every single thing else from that particular point is all on the back end, more or less. We still got some minor stuff to do, but just to recap, right? So we can do the subscription part. We talked about that, but we could also get authentication off of that API backend. So once the payment goes through, then we're going to basically call our internal Cloudflare worker to say, hey, can you go create an authentication for this particular user? And then can you send them an email so that they could then go log into the platform, right? Payment first, log in after. That's basically the goal. So with that, listen, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Where's my thing? I don't know who's on the call, but oh, there's still 4 people here. That's cool. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a pleasure. I will see you, the new users, whoever you are, in the school community. So hint, hint, Mr. Codename Zulu. And for all you guys that just came here and just said hi, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I'm going to be pushing out a couple of videos specifically on some of the back-end pieces. I think right now my channel is kind of limited on details specifically around that portion. And then I have some ideas about just to sort of like launch it fast. I want to do like a 7-day program, because I've been talking to a bunch of you guys, and a bunch of you guys have been just telling me, that you're working on your app, I was like, well, have you launched any single thing as yet? So I want to create a 7-day challenge that's going to get you from like 0 to launch something. Okay. And so that you could iterate and try new things. And I think that's important, because if you're an entrepreneur, you could just spend all your time building, and you haven't actually figured out how to sell. And we want to kind of merge those two together. So we're going to be doing a little bit more videos about that. So that being said, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day. I will see you guys in another video. Boop, boop, boop.